boy.
So this is the land of the Stormbird Empire, a place where a divine god lives, a living god of power and strength, known as the God Emperor, the Stormbird God Emperor. He, with his 5 lords, have conquered most of the known world at this point, and have begun what would be considered a rather aggressive religious policy to make people obey the true gods. Though, despite the religious things, he keeps a rather loose grip upon the world as far as laws are concerned, and lets most races and people develop their own rules and laws. We will begin our story here in the capital known as Owl's Tree, land of magic and power. Here, we open up the scene in a small chamber. You see a single elven man sitting at his desk, reading over books and papers, as he's been looking over behind him as a small glowing ball of energy has been emulated, where he had been recently speaking with someone. He's making notes quickly in a journal when suddenly a vast explosion echoes throughout the entire building, causing books to rumble and fall off of his shelves, and causing his hand to slightly skewer, messing up the paper he was writing. This high elf lets out a sigh of indignation and rubs his temples and goes, "It's okay. I'm about to take care of this." And as he goes up there, he lets out a sigh and goes, "Audrey! Would you please come in here?"
And from the distance... Oh, sorry.
From the distance, a door opens up and you see... And if you would like to explain what you look like now?
Hello! So, into the doorway, singed and covered in soot and a partial bit of hair, kind of on fire like a little candle, comes in this 5'4" woman. She is, if you can kind of imagine Milo Thatch meets extra steampunk. She got giant circle rim glasses that are way too big for her head. Got a little cute little bow tie on her collar. Has a white shirt that has been covered in all sorts of chemicals and other things that have happened within the area. That any combustion most likely is going to be her. She has, it's a mix of what looks like a long skirt, but is actually kind of like a tailcoat, sort of, back, and then really baggy pants in the front, and got her little brown combat boots, and is usually seen holding a little notepad or a book, and is ready to write any notes. So she comes running in. Sorry. I'll clean that up just as usual. But luckily, I've only singed just an inch of my hair this time, so I like to think this was a success.
To see this high elf rub his nose, as he starts giving a sigh of relief. You recognize this man as Counselor Goldrobe. As he looks over at you, I will put his name up there so everyone can see it. Oh, I miss. Audrey, I have an assignment for you today.
Another adventure, alright. Let me hear it. Am I gonna go out into the field? Am I going to study a little aquarium this time?
Yeah, not quite. We have been given a request by the Sultan of Imperius. Apparently the city has had some rather unfortunate events of late. Some various people have been going missing, disappearing from the streets out of nowhere over the last couple of months.
Oh, isn't that peculiar? Oh, Imperius, I haven't been there yet, but I would love to come visit.
Yeah, indeed. But but the fact of the matter is they suspect a magical source of interference, though the normal means of discovering this have turned up rather nothing. People have gone in and discovered that though there has been no seams of magical traces anywhere, and all magical users in the city have been going the usual case of their identification truth spells to identify a culprit, but none has been found. In any case, they've asked one of our head researchers to go in and see if they could discover more. I thought to myself, who better than Audrey to take care of such a delicate situation, after all. I mean, you are one of our most expendable researchers. And I figured that you would just bite at the chance to show your merit, as it were.
Audrey, you can see, just kind of perk up a little and preen just a bit at the praise, even though it has a bit of an off tone to it. But she's just, oh, counselor, you are just too good to me. All these high praises, and well, you know, I've yet to travel outside the city for a while, and just invisibility. I wonder if it's invisibility. Maybe there's a new spell that's been made that and she starts she takes out her notebook and kind of presses her nose basically to the page and mumbling to herself, maybe there's a cantrip somewhere that maybe we don't aware of, and they can't use any of the spells that would take out any truthfulness at all. And she just kind of keeps on mumbling and nearly forgets that gold robe is right in front of her.
Goldrobe rubs his brow again and is like, Audrey, that is more than enough. Would you please listen?
Right. Let me put this away. And she kind of clumsily takes her notebook, stuffs the pen in between it, and just kind of jams it into one of her closest pockets in her pants. Yes?
In any case, Audrey, the fact of the matter is as much as I would like you to take this thing, you will not be sent alone. We have let's call him a new assistant for you, who is paying off some money for the research of a specific thing he needs done. He will be joining you on this as his first official mission for the Magic Guild.
Oh, that's so exciting! Wait, so is he an actual researcher? Is he just a buffet of magic? Is this going to be his career? Is this what he wants to do for the rest of his life? Oh, where did you get him from? Which city is he from?
He's just a mere bodyguard, Audrey, and he's here on a personal matter that he wanted the Owl Lord himself, in fact, to research. As payment for this, he has agreed to serve us and keep it safe. Since this is obviously a situation where danger might be in trouble, I figured it would be best to have at least one bodyguard with you. Of course, when you enter the city, you will also head towards the guild house and see if you can procure any other assistance there. Understood?
So excited. Alright, so I'm gonna have a bodyguard, we're gonna have a little party together, and we're gonna research. Oh my goodness, I wonder what kind of race they might be. Oh, maybe they could tell me a little bit about their battle styles. Oh, and I wonder, maybe I should make a strategic kind of party. Maybe we could get a cleric, and maybe, that'd be so cool to have maybe a dragonborn. That'd be so interesting. I've never met one in person just yet. Oh, okay, when do I leave?
In a few moments, actually. One second. Milram, would you... am I saying that right, Chris, by the way?
Miram,
sorry. Miram!
No else.
Yeah. Miram, would you be so kind as to enter, please?
Yeah, I suppose I'll enter in.
Yep, so...
Entering in at quite the small stature, you see standing about at a bit over 3 feet tall what looks to be a kobold. The scales, despite being a kobold, the scales, rather than the common red tinge, almost have a more silverish metallic look to them, dressed in simple clothes that seem to have been bought recently but have already started to wear down. a blade that on the side seems to be a short sword and traveling extremely light. Miriam enters into the room, already shooting daggers at whatever she has to look at. With that, I kind of enter. You cold.
Miriam, yes, we are getting things ready for your expedition today, for your first day of service. This here is Audrey. Audrey?
Hello. My name is Audrey Crowley. It's very nice to meet you. Oh, I love your skills. They're such a different color. Oh, and the reflection of the light glows so beautifully. I wonder if you could tell me about it later. Oh, are you the bodyguard that, I've been told about?
It is part of the deal I have struck, yes.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. And she jets out her hand a little too quickly than normal. A little too closely to Miriam's face in hopes of getting a handshake.
It takes almost an uncomfortably long time, but Miriam kind of looks you up and down as you hold the hand out there, but eventually just kind of reaches one clawed hand up slowly and gives it a slight shake before stepping off to the side into this chair.
Before Miriam can pull away the clawed hand, Audrey takes the clawed hand by both hands and shakes it way more vigorously than comfortable. The amount of silence did nothing to faze her. And then she lets go.
Well,
Stares her down.
I'm glad to see you two are getting along so well. In any case, I suppose it is about time ready for the adventure to begin. Audrey, if you would be so kind as to, just one moment, please. And he closes his eyes and after a few minutes, starts mumbling some words to himself. A few moments pass, and just to the right of his room, you start seeing what looks to be a glowing magical symbols of icons appear to the side. There we go. If you'd be so kind as to enter the circle, you will be instantly teleported to Imperious's magical circle of teleportation. If you so please, as he gestures to the magical circle for you two to enter.
Audrey, before stepping in, already kind of skips over and crouches right down, watching the magic circle kind of appear. I love watching this process. And she just kind of stares at it in wide-eyed awe. And, again, forgets that she's been told to do something. Oh, right. We are teleporting. Come on, Miriam, we're gonna have so much fun. And she takes a big leap over and hops right in.
Miriam just gives a bit of a harsh glance towards Goldarrow before eventually stepping in herself.
Hey, you guys, teleport out.
I love already.
So you guys.
By the way, what were Miriam's pronouns again? Sorry.
Sorry, what's that?
Miriam's pronouns.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't clear this with Heath beforehand. That's it was going to be a she.
Cool. That's fine, man. I really don't care what you guys pick for your pronouns.
No, I know. I didn't. No. I know. I just didn't. I know. I did. I realized I didn't say that with you before, and then you were like, "Oh, right. I guess I should have." I understand why the assument would be.
Yeah, no, I'm working off a kobold picture. Can't really tell.
I know. No, I know. Yeah,
always good to ask. You never know.
Yeah.
Continue.
Okay, so you guys. After a quick flash of light and instant, you guys find yourself what looks to be into a large steel-caged room. This is nothing to be shocked of, as you are, well, at least you, for Audrey, are aware that this is local practice when it comes to Magic Circle. This is kind of like the airport security system of their country. You are in a cage where soldiers find you, come in, and open the gate for you to let you pass with your papers. For the purposes of this, you guys had your papers ready. As it goes, you see a big, large, furry tabaxi in kind of like Arabian armor and a helmet with like a scimitar walk up towards you. He goes, "Papers, please."
I reach into the small pack and hand out what I had.
Audrey, she goes wide-eyed, claps her hands together, and is just looking this tabaxi up and down. What beautiful armor you have! Oh, and you're large. I wonder how long you've trained. Oh, the color fur and what texture's like, but I probably shouldn't touch you unless I ask first because I'd be very rude. Oh, right, my papers. They're right over somewhere. And she's rummaging around pockets, pulls out a quill. Oh, no, that's not it. Pulls out a tinderbox. No. Torch. No. Rations. No. Oh, there it is. Here's my papers.
You just see the tabaxi guard grabs the papers, looks them over, kind of gets a sigh of tourists as he starts reading them over. They seem to be in order. Please enter the city and enjoy your stay at Imperius.
Thank you very much, and we'll be on our way. And takes a big step out, nearly skipping, arms a little too wide going out.
And as you enter out through the gate, the teleportation circle gate, you enter what looks to be a massive giant city. Again, for you, Audrey, you're used to big cities. You've been in Owltree for a while now, which has a population of a few 100,000. This city is comparable in size. Oh, am I breaking up, guys? Yeah, 1 sec. I'm going to try... Yeah, we'll try reconnecting here.
Looks like I'm good on return.
Okay, now I'm green. You guys good now?
Yeah, I'm good.
Return,
Yeah, okay.
Okay, no worries.
You might want to start over, like, all...
Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to say...
You called us tourists and...
You called to
Yeah,
tourists. Okay, is that where you broke up? Fair enough. So he called you
That's kinda where I
tourists.
broke up.
As he grabs the papers, he goes, "Please enjoy your stay in Imperius." As he basically opens the door for you guys to exit. When you guys do exit, you enter a massive city. Huge in size and scale with, again, a very Arabic look to it. The heat of the area strikes you immediately as... Audrey, this is your first time in the deserts of this land. It's a very hot, smoldering heat as the sun beats down. You kind of feel that instant stickiness to your clothes almost as the sudden wash comes across you.
Goodness, probably should have brought sunscreen.
As you do walk around, you see what seems to be by a multicultural city as most are in the Empire, but by the most part, apart from the various odds and ends, the vast majority of the populace seems to be tabaxi citizens, as well as a large focus of lizard folk seem to be walking around the area. Many of them wearing different various garbs and robes, some in very traditional Arabic-like robes, other them in more Western-style, European-style clothing, all sorts of all shades, as well as all sorts of colors and fur textures.
Amazing.
As you guys continue walking along and seeing it, you see many humans and many creatures. Where do you guys wish to go as you enter the city?
Where are we on the map right now? Like, which number?
You guys would have been... I guess I actually never did put in the magic circle location in this map because they didn't enter the city that way. Basically, the magical circle area, you'd be right about here by the... right there. I will put that on the map, though.
Yay. So this is Audrey's first time. So have you been here before, dearest Miriam?
Miriam kind of looks to you. I've heard talk of this place. I have not ever ventured here myself, though.
Well, I've never been here either, and we should probably procure a map, or we could adventure out just on our own and talk to the locals, because I would love to talk to the locals, and there's so many strange and new faces and new shapes and sizes. Oh, different kinds of fur. There's a little bit of scales over here. I just want to take notes of everybody, but I can't. I'm on a mission because Councillor Goldberg has a special mission for me, and he chose me to do this. Right. Um, hmm. Well, do you understand the, what's the word? The parts of our mission for today. Do you understand what's happening and what we're looking for exactly? Have they told you anything?
Yes, I was informed upon striking my deal. I am aware as to what we are looking for and what they wished us to do.
Alright, well, I suppose we should find some sort of authoritative person, thing, creature, and see if they have any information for us there. At least we have a paperwork, so that shouldn't be too hard, right?
I suppose it is your call. I am merely here to ensure you survive the journey. Though I should remind your employer as well as mine offered that it may be best to assemble more help.
Oh, that's right. We were heading to the guild. Or I have no idea where that is. So let's just start walking. And Audrey moves behind Miriam and takes her by the shoulders and kind of pushes her forward. And by the way, don't worry about hierarchy or anything. Even though you're my bodyguard or whatever it is you decide to call yourself, we are friends here. So no need for special honorifics or suffixes or anything. Just call me Audrey or even Crowley, because a lot of people at the lab tend to call me that as well.
Just pushing me along by my shoulders.
Yes. Just marching along.
I'm using the fact that I'm already a very small stature. I'm just going to go kind of a bit smaller till the hands don't reach me. I would prefer I watch you instead of you being behind me. You're the only thing I have to worry about for my deal to be set, and would prefer you not to die.
Oh, right. That made complete sense. Right, let me just takes the pats her shoulders first before taking her hands away, and then takes a big side step to the left, and then another big step to the front, and then another giant step right in front. All right, let's find that guild. And Audrey is just gonna lead the way and just start asking people around where the heck the guild is.
Sure.
It doesn't take you long to find the hunting lodge guild. It's actually pretty close by, right there.
Oh, perfect.
So as you guys start making your way towards it, you hear you move along, and you're about to enter the guild house, and you just outside the guild house, you see what looks to be an interesting person standing outside looking at the guild himself. At this point, would you like to introduce yourself, Michael, as you are standing outside the guild house?
So, you see what looks to be a shorter human male, probably around 5'7", 5'6". You can see that he seems to be wearing more of the traditional garb around these parts, and you can also tell that he's probably wearing leather armor underneath that. You can see that there is a rapier and a buckler shield on his waist, and across his hip, you do see what looks to be a series of pendants to many religious figures. He has red, short, curly hair, and kind of a little bit of a beard going on. Not thick, but definitely there. And you can just kind of see him there, and you can see him just take out a water skin and just start drinking a little bit of water from it. Oh.
Oh, sorry, keep going.
Oh, no, you're good.
Oh, okay. As he's chilling out over there, he's gonna hear Audrey and Miriam in tow, just walking along. And Audrey will notice him and just kind of go up, I guess not really silently, but a little too close for comfort, right next to him, and just kind of lean over and just kind of wave. Hello! Are you here for the guild too?
Whoa! Hello there. it's nice to meet you. Yeah, I'm here for the guild. Are you here too then? I take it.
Yes, actually, we're going on this wonderful expedition. Well, less an expedition and more of a mystery solving, but we're looking for party members. Are you part of the guild, actually?
That's a good question. DM, am I?
Yes, you are officially part of the guild.
I am part of the guild. You're looking for an expedition to solve a mystery. What kind of mystery are we talking about?
Oh, it's full of magic and wonder, and it's rather peculiar because people have been missing from the city, but others just don't seem to be able to procure the reason why. And they've tried all sorts of magic. They've tried truth-telling spells and trying to track down these people, but for some reason there is absolutely no trace of any doings of any of these things. So, that's basically what I've been told, and there's not much more. So, a part of the expedition is to get more information.
Oh, information, you say? Well, I've actually been looking into this myself a little bit. So if you want to go do that, I suppose that I'm more than happy to help you with that. By
You're
the way,
actually already on the case?
well, I don't say I'm on the case yet, but I'm a bit more of a. Let's just say I'm interested in the case. Let's just say that I just started the investigation as of a few moments ago. So,
Well, you know what? That is good enough for me. You're in.
excellent! That's what I love to hear. So, what can I do? What can I do here, folks, for? Oh, by the way, I should probably introduce myself. The name's Darcy. Nice to meet you.
Oh, Darcy, it is a pleasure to meet you. Oh, excuse my manners. My name is Audrey Crowley. I come from, what's it called again? Owltree, right? Yes.
Pardon?
I am, they're from, what's it? Owltree?
Owl's Tree is where you guys are from.
Owl's Tree. Cool, there's an S in there. My name is Audrey Crowley. From Owl's Tree. Oh, and this is my traveling companion, Miriam. And we both are from Owl's Tree. I'm a researcher. And, yes, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm so excited. So, Darcy, what is it that you do? What are you good at? What are your fortes? Did you study in anything?
Oh, well then, my dear, I'm sorry, I've been trying to get his voice down. Give me a second.
That is okay.
Session 0, that's what this is about.
All right. So I've been looking into. I'm more of a, shall we say, quiet sort of guy. I like to. I mean, I'm no slouch when it comes to a little bit of fighting, but I prefer to talk to people if I can. You know, don't really like to get into a fight unless it's absolutely necessary. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. You see, as I'm not quite the fighter myself, and that's why Miriam is here to help me with that, because I'm a bit of what some like to call, and she does a little squishy fighter, as they say.
Don't worry about it. I'll make sure to stay nice and safe. I may not look it, but I'm a bit of a tough guy myself.
Oh, give yourself more credit. You look plenty strong.
That's what I was saying. I was a tough guy myself. You know, been to a few scraps myself. I've actually travelled the world over, doing all sorts of jobs, messing out, like that sort of thing.
All over the world. You will have to tell me about your adventures later.
I'll tell you what I can.
Well, do you know anyone else here in the guilds that you think would be good for this job?
Do I?
Well, it's funny you mention someone else in the guild, though, because as you guys are looking over top, as you guys are having this description, all of a sudden you hear what seems to be a slight sound of an echoing kind of in the background. You guys look up, and you can see over the clouds something blocking the sun as a giant shadow falls over your party.
Oh, I wonder what that is. That's very large. And Audrey looks up, tries to find the source of this.
Audrey, you recognize what's flying over top of you. It's something you've seen only twice in your entire life before, but what is over top of you is a rock. This ROCK, people, aka the Thunderbirds. They are massive, for those who may not know, are massive eagle-like creatures, big enough that they can pick up elephants in their talons. In the Empire, they are generally only ridden by Talon Guard captains, the elite soldiers of the Empire. And you figure that it's coming in close and it seems to make a beeline towards the palace as it flies. Oddly enough, though, as the shadow passes over you and the sidelight comes back again, you see something stranger kind of coming down. You see this little speck falling. And as it continues to fall from towards you guys, it starts to get bigger and bigger, and everybody roll me a perception check right now.
Make it with disadvantage because we're in direct sunlight.
Nope, in your case.
Oh, that's right.
Disadvantage.
So it's him.
Oh no. Oh no, you're good. He's got sunlight.
I have disadvantage because I'm a kobold.
Yeah, it's only a kobold. Kobolds have it, but you rolled a 9 anyways. So 3 10, 2 9.
Whatever, yeah.
So, at first you guys can't make out what this speck is, and you're really glaring. It's very hard to tell, and eventually, though, the speck gets bigger and bigger, and when it starts getting really close, all of a sudden you see it's like, kind of looks like you see as like what looks to be a spider.
Should I describe myself?
Yeah, one second, yeah. As something comes down, and Dweeby, you want to explain as something is falling from the sky?
I think something's falling from the sky.
So coming closer to you guys at a very rapid pace as the ground comes closer and closer, you see what looks to be a human at first, but then you look past her body and see what looks to be a very bulbous round end and 8 legs, and you see that it's actually a spider half is attached to her. She has this long black hair that is like just streaking behind her as she plummets towards the ground, and she has very bright, sort of violet-colored eyes. Her skin is like her skin is like a kind of like a sickly green-white pale color. And as she gets closer and closer, her voice starts to kind of reach your ears as she's just like, "Oh no, help me."
How big is she? Like as they finally see the shape of this person?
She's medium sized, but she's on the taller. She looks like she's kind of tall, but she's medium sized.
We gotta catch her! Oh no!
Is there any sort of like cloth, like one of those like cloths that they put over like stands or something like that, or like a carpet or just something I can pull off like a nearby stand or something?
Yeah, I'll say you could find one of those quite easily enough.
All right, I'm gonna go and grab it. I'm gonna look at what was your name again, Zaku?
Audrey or Crowley.
Audrey. And I just kind of toss you one end of it as I hold the other.
I
Move right back.
got it!
Hold up, bye.
So you're falling. Just for fun, let's roll a strength check as this giant spider lady slams into your makeshift catcher.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Which one of us? Are we both making strength checks?
Both make strength checks, just for fun. Okay. So as you take it in there, you're like, I got it. Like, you're able to hold up yours just okay as it lands into you, Darcy. You're able to just keep
Oh, you're going robotic.
Oh, am I going robotic? Okay. Darcy, you're able to keep it just up as it kind of like pulls you forward.
Whoop.
Oh, I think it was just robotic on Dweeby's end. Whereas I'm going robotic for you guys as well.
Nope.
So
You're
far,
good for me.
Okay, I think it was just Dweeby's end.
Rocket pack!
Hello.
Can you
Better,
repeat
Dweeby?
that?
Okay, so as I was saying, Darcy, you hold on as you keep it. You got a good solid grip. Audrey, you're holding on and just right out of your hand as this spider right through the blanket, into the
I
ground.
got my gun. I don't got it. Oh no.
Luckily, though, the spider had just hit enough thread beforehand to just, on it passing by building to slow the descent enough so it is not deadly, and just kind of rolls into the blanket and kind of like rolls up into like pig in a blanket style, rolls over into it and kind of rolls towards Darcy holding it and just gets tumbled over and knocked backwards.
Oh, ow.
Oh no. Oh goodness. Oh no.
You okay there, lass? Miss, do I know what this creature is?
You do not!
Do I know what this creature could possibly be?
I would say, Audrey, you have heard of it due to your research, yes.
Would I have heard of it due to my general just age and knowledge?
I would say yes as well. This is, well, you want to describe what you are, Dweeby?
Yes, she is an arachne.
Arachne.
Basically,
Sort of like.
oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, basically think a centaur with a spider body, but smaller.
I love it.
A shocker that Zaku likes it.
Listen.
Listen, I've got a theme. I'm sticking with it.
As I pick myself up, I kind of like brush myself off, and I'm just like,
Oh, thank you. I almost died.
Oh, glad you didn't.
No problem, miss. No problem there, miss. What can I call you?
Oh, yes. Oh, my name. That's what you meant, of course. My name is Effie.
Effie?
Effie?
Effie, yes.
Effie.
Oh, Effie. Oh, that's such a lovely name.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you,
you
Effie.
are lovely.
Though, Miss Effie, I have a question. So, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you just fall off from the rock over there? Not the rock as in, the stone and boulder type of rock, but the giant eagle that passed by.
Oh, the big bird thing. I attached my web to it, and it took off with me. I've been flying for days.
For days? How have you been surviving?
what was that?
How have you been surviving?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Well,
that's exciting.
here, and I'm just gonna hand you a ration and just be like, here, why don't you have one? And I'm just gonna also hand you a water skin.
Oh, that is so kind of you.
Nephew will take it and just immediately start scarfing it down.
Okay. So, may I ask why you decided? Hold on, I'm slipping into barrack. Darn it! Hey, so may I ask why'd you attach your web to a rock there?
Wait, hold on, that touch you. You don't want her to choke on all those rations.
I suppose not. By the way, I am officially creeped out right now.
She finishes up and just looks at you. She's just got like this 1,000-yard stare as she looks at you. It's just like,
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Oh, I was asking why you attached yourself to a rock there. Buggers go flying all over the place.
Oh yes, very far apparently.
Extremely far. That is extremely interesting. Oh, and so you're an arachne? Is that what you are? Can I make that assumption?
Oh yes, that's correct.
So it's
But where is this? Is this the outside?
This is the outside. In fact, you are in the beautiful city of Imperium, and welcome. Right now, you are at the hunting lodge guild.
DM, would she have heard of the Imperium?
Imperius, the city? No, you do not. You would not have heard of Imperius specifically.
Alright. Effie kind of clasps her hands together and looks around and is just like,
Oh, Oh, this is... Oh, goodness. There's so many people.
There is quite a lot of people, aren't there?
Hey, it's my bread and butter. So, and I look over to the kobold, like, and just kind of lean in and whisper, I'm just like, do you have an idea what's going on here?
Miriam just kind of like looks and they're both idiots.
No, I won't.
Turn back.
Alright then. So, Miss Arachne, yes? No, that's her. I'm sorry. What'd you say your name was again?
Effie.
Effie, thank you. So, Miss Effie, what are you planning on doing?
Well, I didn't think this far, in all honesty. I just sort of went where the bird took me, and here I am. What are you guys doing?
We're just planning on taking on a job to maybe find some people who've gone missing.
We're on a mission and it's full of mystery
hold on,
and
I'll be right
magic
back.
and excitement.
Oh, are we hunting people?
We are hunting people. Well, actually, we're not quite sure what we're hunting for. It could be a people, it could be a creature, it could be an undead, it could be anything as far as the eyes and mind could know of.
Oh, are you planning on a
Alright, I'm back.
feast?
Okay.
What'd I miss?
Welcome back.
I heard something about feast and now I'm scared.
You probably should be.
That was probably the worst time to come back.
She said, are you planning for a feast after you guys said you're hunting?
No. We're not necessarily hunting,
You cut off there.
I think you would.
I said we're not hunting for prey, we're hunting for clues and you know, that sort of thing. You know, we're looking for people not to kill but to help. Am I still going through?
Yeah, the end of your sentence kind of cut.
Oh.
He said hunting not to prey but to find clues and help people.
More or
Oh,
less.
okay. And she's just like,
Oh, that's a shame. I'm still a little hungry, but that's okay.
Tell you what,
I
I'll
never
pay for...
got your names, though. What are your names?
Oh, well, you can call me Darcy.
Oh, and my name is Audrey Crowley. It's a pleasure to meet you. You can call me by either one, Audrey or Crowley. And Audrey just kind of nudges Miriam, just kind of. Do you want to
Takes a
introduce yourself,
second.
or do you want me to introduce you?
Oh, we're,
I just gotta like look to her. I look back to Dewey, or look. Is Audrey? Is it? Actually, I
Yes.
wasn't sure on you. Okay, good. I look
Audrey
to
or
Audrey.
Crowley.
Yeah, I look to Audrey and I look back. I am Miriam.
see first.
Oh, so many interesting names. Well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. If you're going hunting, can I come along? I have nowhere else to go because I'm lost, you see.
Oh dear.
Sure, I don't see why not. Here, tell you what, Miss Fe, if you help us out with this, I'll pay for some food for you.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, this is exciting. Another person at a party.
By the way, what sort of skill sets you bringing here?
Oh, well, I'm quite handy with a bow.
and she gestures to a bow over her back and a satchel.
Oh, goodness, me too. I love using the ranged weapons. I'm not the greatest of it, but it's pretty fun. And Audrey pats her light crossbow on her side.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen that weapon.
It's pretty handy, if I do say so myself, though I don't tend to use it much.
I just lean down to the kobold again. I'm like, hey, so you and I are gonna be the ones having a good conversations, yeah?
I kind of like look to him. Do I look like I hold conversations willingly?
Yeah, I just imagine you get lonely if you don't.
I don't. I just turn back.
Effie leans her face down into your guys' space. It's just like,
Why are we whispering here?
Audrey does the same. What are we whispering over here?
Privacy policy.
Was it in the handbook?
No, there's no real handbook when it comes down to, venture and policies such as ourselves, but, what we can do is make formal agreements beforehand of what we're allowed to do and say to each other before, and not, So, for example, I'd be very appreciative if you didn't really, hurt people unnecessarily, when possible.
That can be done. Oh, actually, you know what? Let me, contracts! Right, contracts are very professional, and since we are creating a party, we should probably figure something like that. Let me just get my notebook over here. And, oh, goodness, I mixed my papers real quick.
If I
Oh, it's in
might be able to ask a question, why aren't we hurting each other?
Well,
Miriam kind of like looks hard at her for that. I imagine you aren't doing it because you enjoy living and it would end your life.
well, there's that. Plus, it wouldn't be very nice if we started hurting each other for no reason.
Oh, I suppose that's a good point. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm just so very curious about your outsider way.
Outsider ways. Where exactly are you from, my dear?
Oh, I'm from the Greylands.
The Greylands. Oh, that is exciting. It's such a strange and wondrous land. I know that a lot of people are a bit afraid of it, but I think it's very, very intriguing. You will have to tell me later about your place.
Oh, I would be more than happy to.
Yes.
Effie copies that gesture and claps her hands too.
Oh my god.
It's about this point you guys are starting to get a lot of strange stares as fellow tabaxis and lizard folk are just kind of walking by going, what the hell are they doing outside the lodge?
By the way, Nikki, you have legitimately made a character that is scaring me.
I love her.
Oh, I know, yeah, it's great.
Do you guys see the image I put of her? She's my
Yep.
image on the site.
Wait, no, I haven't.
Yeah, you guys can now see each other's characters in character. I open it up for everybody.
You gotta put your
Oh.
laptop by your feet.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
Oh, hold on. I gotta. Give me a second.
Why? Why do you do this?
Hold on. I need to. Oh my god. I love her. Beautiful.
Is it a bad time to mention that I'm arachnophobic?
Oh no. You should have mentioned that when we fought a giant spider back in the woods, you know?
I think I did.
Oh right, I forgot to mention with her description, she also has like a sort of a jagged scar that goes from like the top of her left eye down the bridge of her nose to the bottom of her right eye.
Oh my god.
Yep, no, you have literally peaked my creep factor out. I am uncomfortable.
Oh!
Oh, Dylan!
Yeah, he's here!
Oh god, not Kovacs.
You didn't notice that?
He is silent, but he's with us in spirit.
Wait,
Just
just go
Like
back.
his soul.
You're such a hero, I guess we could play a full round of this mission, but...
Yeah! Oh, so he's driving. Okay.
Okay,
Also,
well, if you
seeing
show
all
up later,
these-
Dylan...
Oh god.
Okay, so you guys are now, like I said, you're getting a lot of odd stares now as you guys are, like, walking around.
Seeing all these tabaxi people walking by, Effie's gonna start slowly taking off her bow.
Hey, well, I suggest if you like living, you don't pull that out in public unless you absolutely need it.
Remember the thing we talked about where it's not very nice to attack people with no reason?
Oh, I thought you meant for just us.
Oh, no. When you're in the city, actually, you try to treat everyone a bit friendly before you determine if they're worthy of, impalement, but usually that is not the case, and that is very much last resort.
And most of the time when that is the case, we have special people around here who take care of that for us.
Yes, and also Miriam here is also an expert on that sort of thing, so if you have any questions on whether or not you can attack, usually I'm pretty sure Miss Miriam here would know. Isn't that right, Miss Miriam? Nudge, nudge.
I just kind of give a stare.
See? The look of an expert.
Miriam will tell me when to kill things.
Exactly. I mean, I'd be able to possibly, but I'd rather not, give the go. But also here, Sir Darcy here is, he's traveled all over the world, so I would assume he would have known the good from the bad and all that in between, even though technically there isn't really a good and a bad because the world isn't really black and white. There's actually a lot of grey area, and everything's in the spectrum, and really everyone has their own intentions. Right, what were we talking about?
Oh,
Do you have trouble breathing? I've never heard someone talk so fast.
You're not the first person who asked that. Quite a lot of people have asked me that in the first, especially when I came into, not the guild, the university, but actually, this is just my natural speaking voice.
Be careful, it'd be bad if you ran out of oxygen and died.
That is true, but as long as we have trees and foliage in this world, I believe there should be enough oxygen for me to use in a while. Just as long as I remember to take a breath here and there. But if you see me start to go blue, which actually has happened before, just remind me.
Darcy is just asking himself in his head, how did he get here?
He said yes!
The day started out so normal.
So Effie looks towards the building you guys were heading towards and points at it as like,
were you going in there?
Oh, that's right. We were looking for, I'm not exactly sure how many people we should recruit. What do you think, Miriam? Do you think that this number of people is enough, or should we get maybe one or two more?
I kind of look both Darcy and Effie over. More, even of their caliber, I suppose, would be beneficial.
Well then, it's settled. Right, so let's walk right in. Is there any administration pass? Do we have to go through a front desk? Do we have any paperwork to go through? Is there initiation? Will I have to shave my head?
No, so the way it works is that you just walk in, you'll say, hey, I've been wanting to hire someone to help me with a little project I'm on, and then we can take care of it right then and there.
Oh, I see. All right.
Think of it more as a loose coalition of people rather than a very well-structured organization.
Oh, I see. Well then, there are a lot of choices here. I do see some heads peeking out. You know what? I know a faster way to do this. Audrey walks right in before anyone else asks. She picks a table, stands right on top of it, and inhales a very big breath. Excuse me, everyone, if I could have your attention!
Well, with that, at the Hunting Lodge Inn, you just see a bunch of people turn over and look at Audrey standing on the table as one of the waitresses serving food looks about and goes, excuse me, miss, did you want something?
Yes, actually, we are recruiting for a murder mystery. Would anyone like to join? There's magic and there's more mystery and we just need more people. Would anyone like to join?
Darcy is going to slip into the crowd and just try to, disassociate as quickly as possible.
Effie's gonna look for a separate table and also stand on it and just look to see what she has to do next.
Okay, so Darcy goes to stand on a table. Feel free to move your token.
Miriam's just kind of making sure.
All right, Effie needs to move on to Darcy. You can be. So Effie walks on a table where these dwarf and tabaxi gun hunters are carrying rifles. Watches the spider lady crawl up on top of their table. The dwarf turns it into backs and goes, I didn't know we would ordered Spyro for dinner there, Fuzzy. Indeed, my friend. It would seem that this is a very interesting case scenario.
Oh no, my colleague here is not for eating. Just so you know, she's just being very helpful. Is that right, Effie?
Oh yes, I can be very helpful.
See, look at her, it's a prize beauty.
Yes, you guys are making a great scene. You see, in your case, Audrey, first time you've seen one of these, you see this giant hippo man wearing this like very kind of hunter's outfit with a giant blunderbuss walk towards you, smoking like a big old pipe. Just a quick picture for her.
Yeah.
I love these
One of
guys.
these guys.
He goes,
That's so fun.
tell you,
Would I know
my
the
good
name of
friends,
these
you're out looking for some help there. What?
Audrey turns, and as she's turning, you can see her eyes just widen, a sparkle, the galaxies in her eyes. You are a creature I have not seen before. Oh my goodness, you're so big and you look so strong looking, and you got the head of hippo, and oh, your hands look. I wonder what kind of place you're from, and the kind of environment you grew up in, what kind of adaptations your species has. Oh, right. You asked me a question. Right. So we are looking for help. We are from Owl's Tree. Well, at least me and Miriam are. Where is Miriam? Oh, there she is. So we are on a sort of expedition / murder mystery. Well, maybe it's murder mystery, but people have gone missing, and we have been sent here to figure out this sort of situation.
Very good. What? Well, the name is Winchester Dorando III, hunter extraordinaire, and jolly well good chap, hey? What? If you're looking for adventure time, though, I could give you a bit of a hand.
Oh, there's that so.
Well, I happen to be the head of the guild member here.
The head guild member. Oh, that's such an honor. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Andre Crowley.
Pleasure there, little lady.
And over here is my companion / bodyguard, Miriam, but I like to call her my companion because we don't need any of the hierarchy things. Right over there, that's Mr. Darcy. He's also part of the party and totally pointing him out so he can't disassociate anymore. And here's our beautiful companion, Miss Effie. She just came down from the sky from a rock.
At this point, Audrey, you go to point at Effie, who's no longer at the table, and you don't see Effie anywhere.
Uh-oh. Oh, where did she go? Well, if she is a spider, maybe... Oh, is she up in the ceiling? And
you look up and she is hanging from the ceiling.
There she is. Yes, she's doing her own little spider things, which I'll definitely ask about later. But, yes, so, Mr. Winchester, was it?
Indeed.
Yes, so... What are your skills? I see you have a giant pistol rifle-looking contraption there, and what is there to offer, as Darcy likes to say. I've just been picking people off the street, to be honest. I probably shouldn't be the one recruiting.
Fair enough. Well, as you can see, I got a bit of a crack shot with the gun. I'm also capable of I make some of these, and he goes into his coat and he pulls out what looks to be a small, round, spherical device about the size of his palm.
Ooh, what is this?
It's a grenade, madam, a grenade.
Oh dear! And she kind of just whips her head back.
And you just see this gif kind of toss the grenade up and down in his hand, catching it.
Goodness, that is quite a weapon.
Quite useful, I must say. But the fact of the matter is you're looking for assistance. You're after the last missing people, you said, yes?
Yes, are you aware of the case?
In fact, I've been in charge of doing this, and he walks over to the board and slaps it on a paper where it says reward for missing people. 2,000 gold.
2,000 gold! I could do so much research with that money. Oh, goodness.
So,
Nope.
I kind of look over to the Mr. Winchester here. Do I know him as a member of the guild?
You know of him. This is your first time actually in this city.
Right.
But you've heard of Winchester the Ruggeds. He's a well-known guild member. He, like I said, head of this branch. As I said, GIF are pretty rare in this country, especially more in the desert-like areas. Very rare. You would have been known. You know they're kind of more living in the kingdom of Marcel. GIF are usually anti-magical folk, but very technologically sound. They like gizmos and gadgets. In fact, they are contributed as the first inventors of firearms in the world.
I will go up to Mr. Winchester and I will say, "Hey, Mr. Winchester, Darcy, member of the guild out in out towards the northwest there. Question for you."
Of course, my friend. What is it? Oh.
Well, as my associates here have said, we're looking into those missing people. I'm assuming you've got leads, but I was also wondering, the firearms of yours.
Oh, yes, old Betsy here. And he pats his giant blunderbuss.
Well, by chance, do you happen to have extras that we could procure?
Well, I mean, you could always buy a firearm at the local blacksmith. It's not like these things are impossible to find in the Empire, my lad.
That's true, but if I knew anything about you and your people, you make the best.
Kind of you to say, my friend. Unfortunately, I myself don't have the best knowledge of the building. I'm more the shooting type, you see. This old Betsy here was in fact modified by a local gnome at Clockwork Mine for me years ago.
Oh, is that so?
Oh, indeed, my friend, indeed.
By the way, so Mr. Winchester, by the way, just as asking for someone who hasn't actually been to town too often, any areas we should avoid, shady places, that sort of thing?
Oh, that is a smart question.
Well, in fact, yes, well, didn't hear it from me, but we do have a bit of trouble with a thieves guild around town, what? In fact, the Snakes Guild is apparently one of the leaders of the Rat Snakes Guild in the city.
Rat Snakes Guild. Would Audrey know of any of this, like...
Rat
General...
Snakes Guild are well known throughout the entire Empire. They are the main thieves guild of the Empire, control about 80% of the organized crime within the entirety of the Empire.
Ooh, dang. Thank goodness, they're even all the way over here.
Oh, very much so. Though apparently this is one of the newest members. Don't know much about her, apparently, apart from it's a tabaxi named by the name of Claw.
Claw. That is very fitting for tabaxi, isn't it?
Oh, very so. Though, to be admit, Claw's biggest problem has been raiding all of the local merchants as they go about doing their business outside the city limits a lot, and occasionally, well, taking care of the merchants inside the city as well. What? But if you're looking for other interest places, well, there's always the bazaar where you can always go purchase well-do goods and varieties of things. And, you know, there's the oddest thing being built in the north side of the city lately. A giant building, never seen it like before, built by this odd grey tabaxi man and his yellow, feathered Aarakocra sidekick.
Aarakocra?
Oh, the bird folk, you know.
Oh, that's right.
But, very odd thing. Apparently, going to be big business, they say down there, what?
Are we going to be coming across more birds?
He looks at you up and down, he goes, well, I'd say there's at least about a few other Aarakocra and a few Kenku in the city, haha.
Also, Effie's gonna, kind of attach a bit of web to the ceiling and kind of slowly bring herself down so she's more eye level with everyone. Still just hanging.
I just imagine you start spinning slowly in the circle as spiders do sometimes.
Yep.
When you're walking by and then suddenly you bump into one.
You have quite the interesting companion there with you all, what?
Oh
Hi.
yes, this is very interesting. Honestly, everyone here in this party is lovely. I want to know about everyone here.
Don't worry, you're very interesting too.
Like her, she's got quite a spirit on her, what. In any case, other places of interest in the city you might be interested in taking a peek at. Obviously, if you're looking for a place to sleep, the Soft Paw Pillow Inn is very good. Nearby lodgings as well.
Soft Paw Pillow, and what was the name again of that large building that's being built in the middle of the city?
I don't actually know. Something,
Oh.
something. What was it? Big long name, lots of N's, and mix something. I think he called it a call. No, that's a doll. A mall. It's a mall he's creating. That's a yes.
Oh, it's a mall.
You have no idea what a mall is.
Oh, interesting. What is a mall?
Isn't it like a giant hammer?
Very good. No, apparently a different sort of mall. Apparently it's like a conglomeration of a bunch of stores in one. Apparently he's making it to run against the bazaar. A lot of the merchants aren't very happy about it. What?
Well, I was about to say, it sounds like a bazaar, but why not just call it a bazaar?
I suppose he thought it was too weird.
Or just like a town market of sorts, except it's, I suppose, within the building itself.
Indeed, one big giant building.
That gets rather uncomfortable and stuffy real quick, don't you think, with all those people in there?
Yeah, I think so, but apparently he says it's the new way of the future.
The future. The future's now, isn't it? Why not just enjoy the moment?
One can always assume so. I agree with you though, my friend. I don't think it'll catch on, but he's a damn man who wants to try. Of course, if you're looking for some time to relax, the local bathhouse is always fun to be there. I go there myself a lot to, get the old skin what.
Oh.
Well, maybe.
Hey, am I thinking upon that?
Yes, we could visit it later. It sounds a bit fun. We could get to know each other.
And if you're all in for more of a, randy business, the local honey devil brothel's always available. What?
Oh, good.
What is a brothel?
Oh
It's
dear.
It's a place where you find very intimate companionship for a fee.
Oh, we should all go there and make more friends.
Oh, well, you see, the friends you make there are very different. You see, when a creature and another creature want to bond together...
It's by its sex.
That...
Evie places her palms to her cheeks and is just like,
Oh.
Indeed. Also, the local library is always good if you're looking for research of any sort.
Ooh, that's right. Actually, I might want to go later and richest I can do. Where is the library exactly in this town?
It's far to the northeastern side of the city. What? It's actually right behind that giant mall they're building.
Oh, so we could, as they like to say, hit two birds with one stone.
And if you're in for some good entertainment, the Colosseum is always open, ready for combat. What?
Honestly, I would. You
getting some
okay there,
feedback.
Michael? You're crackling.
Oh, sorry, my yeah, I think I might have to get my send back my the headset I got.
Yeah, it sounds like you might have got a bad one, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Got a lemon.
Yeah, because also, of course, if you're looking for the local, if you're looking for good with it, Histar's blacksmith shop is always good for gear and equipment you could use. What?
Ooh. Well, I'm not one for gear and such. I can't really use a sword, but I suppose here. Seems everyone has a weapon. So, would anyone like to visit that area?
I'm kind of curious about picking up one of them firearms. Been meaning to try.
That's right. That seems pretty useful, at least in long range. I should maybe look into one myself, possibly.
Out of curiosity, DM, is there a certain proficiency to use firearms, or is that like an entire new thing that I would need to like put a feat into?
You would have to put a fee. Yeah, firearms is something if you have to take some extra stuff for. It's not a learn proficient. You'd have to train in it for that one.
All right.
How
Out of
long would
curiosity-
it last?
Well, out of
Pardon?
curiosity, do they fall under like martial weapons, or are they like their own unique category?
They're technically a unique category.
Okay.
But it's one you could train with martial training. If you're proficient with martial weapons, you can train for that one. So.
All right then.
Uh,
All right then.
Well, I would love to play tours, and honestly, the city is beautiful. There's so much culture over here, and the people look wonderful. The clothing is so different from Owl's Tree. But, I suppose we can't do too much. We are on a mission. Well, do you have any information that you could share, since you're going to be part of this, little gathering then?
Well, I suppose I can work with you for a bit. Well, I mean, for starters, I would suggest we have of course, everything the guild has for information as well. Let's see here. As he looks over in there and he brings out some papers, and you see he goes into the back room and pulls out a large file and kind of plops it down on the table.
Oh goodness, that is a lot of reading.
Who here likes reading?
Do you
Sorry,
find
say that
it
again?
challenging, Darcy?
I don't find it challenging. I just prefer to spend more time doing other things, if at all possible. So, and I kind of look over at Audrey and I'm just like, Audrey, you seem pretty excited to get some files on your hands. Why don't you take a look at that while we're walking over there?
Her nose is already pressed in, and she's already a couple pages reading. Like, her life is books, so she's like, is it safe to say that she's a pretty good speed reader?
I'll say you can speed read, no problem. Basically, from reading over it, the key things the guild knows about the problem is the first missing people that went missing in the city was about a month and a half ago, and the first few people went missing were slaves. So the assumption was at first it didn't cause any immediate stir or rise in the city. People assumed they were escapees. But as time kept going on, more and more people started getting missing of higher and higher rankings, as if someone has been building up. Started with slaves, and then some commoners went up, and a few merchants, and even a couple of the noble families of the last couple of weeks have gone missing. So far, the grand total of people missing through the city is about 45.
45 missing people in total, a little 1.5 ago. That's when it started. The slaves and oh my goodness, even higher ranking people. Oh, they even merchants and regular people as well. All right, so this is quite the case. We've had, at least in this city alone, 45 people missing. It seems that it's as if whoever is gathering these people are growing their own town.
That's an interesting theory. I mean, if you say so.
Well, metaphorically, anyways. But 45 people is quite a lot, and at first it started off with just slaves, and some people think they're just escapees, but they've been going higher and higher. It's very strange, very peculiar.
So people are disappearing.
They are disappearing, and are there any clues at all to how this happened?
Well, so far, all we've been able to discover is the ability of the people being missing is, well, frankly, no, we don't have a lot of clues about it. Mostly, they have finished. The weirdest thing is there's never been a sign of a struggle with someone missing.
Sign of struggle?
No signs of struggle, and not to mention the simple fact that the very people have disappeared and seem to have just vanished. Family, friends, their spouses, no word or anything about them. What?
You see Audrey just writing in her notes, like, all these things.
Anyway, I don't know. Any connections between them?
As far as we're aware, what is the only connection we've been able to do is that it started with the lowest type of citizen, and slowly started moving its way up to the higher class people. The Emperor, the Sultan himself, is apparently worried about the situation.
Well, is anyone? So who's the highest person of rank to go missing there then? Is the next person in line then the Sultan himself?
Not the Sultan himself, but perhaps some of the higher nobles are in danger. Some of the lower nobles have been taken recently, by Jove.
Where have they been disappearing?
Apparently they've been going missing at night, and then they had been seen in the morning, and night time comes, and then they disappear, all over the city.
Are they always alone?
No one has ever seen them go missing, so they would be assumed that they have been alone. Except, no, wait, I tell a lie. The last two nobles apparently had been seen with their spouses in bed, and then went missing in the morning with no explanation. What?
Perhaps we should use a bait.
Taken. People bait? Oh, actually, But, who would want to be the bait? Who, I suppose, would have to deduct some line. And, so that no family had any word of it. There's no outcry or any grief that's happening other than, that's one missing.
No signs at all, what? They have just gone missing out of nowhere. Of course, people have theories about these things, what?
Would you know any family close by that we could possibly talk to?
Well, I believe, I think the most recent one taken was actually a servant. One moment, please, because I do have a map for this. I just had to remember what the map was called, which household it was. The Golden Hand Estate, what?
Golden what?
Golden Hand Estate.
Golden Hand Estate. Alright, well, given you know this, could you lead the way to that later, I suppose, and suppose we can figure out a bait. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan. What? I would suggest perhaps going around and asking others. As I said, some of the local merchants has also been going missing, so the bazaar might be a place to check out. What?
Right, go to the bazaar. Check it.
Are we going to be killing bad people?
Quite possibly. What? I like this one. Very straightforward. What?
She is very straightforward, isn't she? But, we'll see. Hopefully it won't have to come to that. Maybe the authorities will just take them in and do their interrogation and whatnot and sentences, but we'll just have to see.
But if they're taking people away, they must be bad people, and bad people have to die, don't they?
Well, see, we do have a system to figure that out. Remember how I said how the world isn't... Sometimes things are a little bit, blurry. But yes, in general, unfortunately, they are considered bad people. Again, we'll have to see. So, let's hope that we don't have to get to that point.
A system? Your ways are so strange.
It is a bit strange and probably very different from your hometown, isn't it?
Oh yes, we just kill people on sight.
Oh goodness, that is quite terrifying, if I must say.
Probably for them, yes.
Well, over here we do not do that, because if you kill someone on sight, you will possibly meet the same fate.
Well, yes, that is how the life of nature is.
Yes, but in the hopes of lowering casualties, we try not to do that. But you'll see it over time. I promise. It'll make more sense. Get into that situation, which hopefully we'll never have to get into that situation.
I see. Well, I don't want to be rude, so I will follow your orders.
Alright, and you don't need to call them orders. These are I suppose nearly suggestions. High suggestions. If, as Mr. Darcy has said, if you want to survive. And I believe Miss Miriam has as well. Is that right, Miss Miriam? Are you still there? Are you sleeping?
Miriam
I see how I was awake.
just standing in silence as you all discuss.
Goodness, you're so quiet. I almost forgot that you were there.
I see. What was the question?
Sorry, say that again.
What was the question?
Oh, it's funny, I actually forgot what the question was. But, I believe we're talking about, laws and try not to kill people on sight, because that's very different from the grey... What's it called again? The grey,
Greystone lands.
The Greystone lands, that's right. We don't do that over here, and I was just explaining to our dear Effie that, we prefer not to kill people on sight.
I see. I suppose then you are correct.
Well then, now that we have a lead, what time of day is it?
You guys are probably getting close to around afternoon. I mean, as I said, it was an instant teleportation spell, happened pretty early, so you guys are about 1 o'clock, noonish.
Well, we are here for a mission, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I want to be a tourist just for a little bit. But, is there anything immediate that anyone else would like to do? I don't want it to be taking over the schedule. After all, I'm not, the big boss or anything. I'm not the counselor.
Well, I could go ask around and by a few people I knew, see if they can tell us a little bit more. Not sure of the people who like to tend to stay towards the streets. So I might know someone who could give us a little bit more information.
Oh, do you?
I like to say I like to stay in the loop around here. You guys can go and play tourists if you so desire. I can take a look at that for you.
Oh, he can be splitting up from us already. We just met.
Oh, don't worry, I'll find you. I'm pretty good at finding people. Tell you what, if we don't see each other again by, say, around 5, why don't we head back to, the cat's paw?
Soft paw.
The soft paw.
Oh.
Soft paw pillow.
Soft paw pillow.
Alright, soft pillow at 5 in the evening. Say,
Darcy is probably going to be the next victim.
oh no! We wouldn't want that now, would we? But you see, it's pretty different. I like to think that he can take care of himself. Isn't that right, Darcy?
Hey, I've taken down a few nasties in my time. I wouldn't say I'm an inexperienced pup.
I bet that's what they all said.
I just lean down back to Miriam and just be like, so, how do you feel about Effie?
Miriam just looks you up and down. It's very possible she's right about you.
Okay, that's just rude. Besides, I'm not going to be staying out past the night anyway. I should be fine.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're going to be using yourself as bait, we should go with the bait plan.
I don't think I ever agreed to being bait there, lass.
Not sure if he's quite high enough status to be bait, considering the pattern of this. Not to be offending of anything, but well, actually, are you noble?
I mean, I wouldn't say nobility, but I could make a pretty. I could pretend to be.
Oh, really? Can you do those things where you would disguise yourself?
I mean, I could put on some new clothes and act all tighty, high and tighty, and act like one of them real important types.
That might be a good idea. If these bad people are eating their victims, your flesh looks very pliable.
Oh dear.
Darcy is just gonna leave.
Darcy walks out the door.
I'll catch up with you folks later.
Effie looks at the others, is just like,
Did I insult him? I meant that as a compliment.
Oh, no. It's just, not everybody, cannibalizes on each other. So, over here it's a little bit rare. Is that what your diet consists of? What exactly do you eat?
Well, whatever there is around to kill. It's a very wasted land, so food is scarce, and you eat what you come across.
Ah, I see, and that's why you could survive so long. Without eating.
Oh, yes.
Goodness, you are a trooper, aren't you?
Oh, yes, if we weren't in... Well, if this were our lands, I would have probably tried to take a bite out of you. But you are nice, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, thank you. I don't see myself as being that appetizing. I mean, look at my arm here, and she kind of tugs on her sleeve just to show the meat of her arm, which is very noodle-like. I don't have much strength at all. I'm not much of a fighter. I'm more of a book reader, as you can see.
But just like I said to Darcy, it looks very easy to bite into. Again, a compliment.
Thank you. I'll take it, even though it's a bit, just a little bit unnerving, but I understand. This is your language, therefore I will respect it.
Winchester walks over and goes, if you'd like some food, lass, I have always a good shepherd's pie with me. What?
Oh, that's right. We probably should...
You baked a shepherd?
You scared me. You scared me great.
Oh, no, we don't bake the shepherds. We bake the sheep. What?
Oh, well, I suppose that could be delicious too. I would love to have a bite, thank you.
Daddy, round a shepherd's pie, what? Yeah, Winchester, I got it. Yeah. See this big, fat, kind of gropely bartender walking in the back, comes out with a giant pot and 4 plates. He just plops up, takes out a giant spoon and plops up, which is very much the mashed potatoes, gravy, peas with lamb shepherd's pie dish. And hands each of you a plate.
Effie will start eating with her hands.
Oh, there she goes.
Quite plentiful, what?
Oh yeah, she quite literally fell down from the sky and hasn't eaten for days. How much would this cost?
Don't worry about it, what? On my tab, hey?
Oh, thank you, goodness, Mr. Winchester, you are too kind.
Sorry, I tend to eat a lot myself. I'm sure you can't eat me more than me, what? And he just smacks his giant rotund belly. By the way, I should mention that the size of this man is roughly 8 feet tall and probably weighs about 900 pounds.
Oh my god. I love him. Well, I can well imagine. Actually, how much of, what does your diet consist of? I've never met someone just like you before, and it's very interesting. What does your diet consist of? How many pounds of food do you have to eat a day? How long does it take to digest? And what about the newborn? How much do the babies eat at the time? Especially when the... Tell me everything.
Well, what? He starts to go into a long explanation about the gift eating habits. That they do eat quite a bit of food. They tend to live the length of humans. They eat the same kind of food as humans do. And as far as the babies go, he will show you a baby picture that he has on him of himself when he was but a wee little baby.
Oh, that is absolutely adorable. You are quite the charming little lad there.
Actually, for shits and giggles, I actually have a picture for this.
Yes!
His baby picture.
Oh my god.
Oh my god! So many wrinkles!
While the two of them are talking, Effie's gonna offer the tiny bit left on her plate to Miriam.
Are you hungry?
I am fine, thank you.
Are you sure, Miss Miriam? We are going to be traveling around for quite a while. Or would you rather eat at the soft pot?
I have food of my own if I need it, and should I require more, I will purchase it. You need not concern yourself with it.
Right, well, don't be shy. No, we are partying now together, so having meals happen quite often.
Very well, I will just save this piece then.
Effie will just put it in a pouch, the leftover pie.
So as you watch her put in the leftover, just like it's not really a pie as much as it's like a mash of food mashed with gravy and thing. It's just look at her bag; it starts dripping out the bottom of Effie's bag as the gravy starts seeping through.
Oh dear. Effie dear, you might want to put that in a container first before you put it in your bag. You see, you have some sauce dripping out of the corner there, and that is going to leave quite a trail.
Oh, that's true. We wouldn't want to attract predators.
That's
Very
right.
well.
Effie will take it back out of her bag again and hold it in her palm towards the person behind the bar and be like,
Do you have a container for this?
For the love of, and he just walks back and brings out like this little like can, like basically a tin can, and just plops it down, puts it in the tin can, and hands it back to Effie.
Effie puts that on her back and starts licking the mush off of her palm and walks back to the group.
Well, remember to wash your bag later, dear.
Oh, yes, of course. So where to next? You are all a bunch of very fun people, so I hope you don't mind me trailing along.
Oh, I don't mind at all. I think you're very interesting. You do have to tell me more about yourself.
Oh, anything.
Well, let's see. Road here, and boss already left, and he's already doing his own thing. He's going to be investigating. Let me look at my notes again. So there's a library, which I definitely want to go to, but probably it's going to be a little bit the rest of the party because everyone is very interested in reading. Even though I love reading so much, I could read it all day.
I'll put up the world map with all the with the markers for you guys.
Yay!
Thank you.
There's one other map he forgot to mention too. He's like, oh, I've also forgot to mention, if you're looking to speak to the hoity-toity in the city, the Golden Oasis is the other tavern in the inn.
Oh, see here. Golden Oasis.
And
For
of course,
the rich and affluent.
of course, there's always the local watch house as well, as well as the slave markets. What?
Ah, the watchtower, was it?
The watch house.
Watch
Basically the
house.
cops.
It was the cops.
Yeah, the watch of the cops.
Actually, the watch house might be a place of interest. After all, they might have more information.
Indeed, what?
Right, and slave market. I don't believe we have any business there, so I think we'll be passing that. Right. Well, I suppose we shall.
And I
go
suppose
to-
the last thing you should, of course, if you were looking for some divine inspiration, the divine square is always open, eh? What?
Divine inspiration. Is that a religious thing?
Indeed, the divine square is where the main gods and the templars are. What?
Divine square. God. And written down. Alright. Well, since we are on a case, how about we visit the authorities here at the... God. Frickin' I
Watch house?
forgot to... Watch house! That's... written that down! Watch house! The
A
po-po.
watch
Alright.
house is just the name of a police station in this game, so all cities have watch houses.
Okay. Well, let's, why don't we visit the watch house first?
Sounds good. What?
Alright, let's, head on our way as I've eaten. Actually, I just need to get this. And, whatever's left over on the plate that Effie hasn't eaten, Audrey will take some. Oh, compliments to the chef. This is delicious. I love the sauce on
I'll be sure to
It's
tell
very
Frey.
delicious.
As the bartender takes the stuff and kind of nods to you guys as you guys head out towards the local city watch house.
the watch house with watchmen.
You guys are here. It's going to take you a while as you wander down towards the watch house. You go passing, takes you past the soft paw pillow, where you just see what looks to be the sign of the soft paw pillow sign. What you see is just a little kitten rolled up in like a little pillow as a bed and lying sleeping with like a little nightcap on his head.
Aww.
You guys also pass by the local bank on the right there as well as you wander on past. You make the circuitous route and towards the watch house. You do see the slave market in the distance. And finally, breaching the watch house after seeing many, many citizens wander by past you, giving you nods and various things, though Effie gets a lot of odd stares.
Audrey is on the way, just kind of looking at people. Probably gets distracted here and there. You might have to literally drag her back into the main road.
So you guys enter the watch house. 1 second, I will get your tokens on there. Yeah. Oh, I guess you're not there, Darcy, but in any case. There you guys go.
Oh, what is all this?
You guys
Oh,
enter
are
the
you-
local watch house where you see many tabaxi guards. This was the guys I was describing earlier for you. And a few tabaxi clerics wandering around. As you see the local cities gathering about, getting their stuff together. As you do wander over, you see the local captain, or the head of the city at his desk, stare over and look at you guys. A bit of a kitty scowl on his face as you guys just wander into the watch house. May I help you all?
Oh, how very interesting. We have each of the cities and the lord here, and the eagle. It looks just like. Oh, right. Hello.
By the way,
We
that's-
are here.
I should say that's the flag, the empire, flag of the empire there.
Is it like a rug?
Yeah, it's like a rug, but it's the flag of the empire as a rug.
Okay, Evie's gonna crouch down and start running her hands over it.
Very large flag. Oh, right. Hello. I am. Well, at least me and Miss Miriam here are from Owl's Tree. I'm a researcher here that was sent out by our lord to study the missing persons case over here, and these are companions. This is little Effie over here, and I do have one more, but he's off doing his own thing for research. Would you be willing to help us?
It is always the locals, the duty of the locals watch to take care of the citizens. What is it that you wish to discuss with us about the missing persons case?
Sorry, I also forgot to introduce Mr. Winchester here from the Hunting Guild.
What?
He's an
I
animal
hear him say
person.
what one more time. I'm gonna break his skull.
Oh, man. So we just recently came from the guild to find some information. We haven't come here with much. What I've been told by one of my superiors back in Owl Tree is that people have been missing, and it's been hard to find any trace of them at all. Found out that just a month and a half ago, people have started going out of nowhere. It's like appearing. There has been word from the family, and that's really it. And 45 missing persons within the city alone, which is quite a lot.
We're aware of these numbers, Miss. We have been searching for him as well. We suspect the Thieves Guild is probably behind it ourselves.
The Thieves Guild. And, what kind of motive do they have to, well, be stealing people away?
At the moment, we're not sure. We figured at first it was a random breakout of slaves, but since the individuals have been going higher up and up, we can only assume they are working their way to ransoming some of the higher lords and ladies of the land in the end. Perhaps they're trying out some sort of new magic and we're using the abilities of the slaves to test it on them, perhaps, is what we are thinking.
This is a very strange magic. I'm rather new to magic quite a bit, but do you think the library would have any information on this? Are there any other magic users in the city that you think would have any information? We really are at square one here.
Indeed, the library might have some information for you. There is many books about the city in itself down there.
What was the first part that you said?
Oh, the library has many. The library has much information for you.
Okay. Yeah.
There are books down there that can give you much information about the city's history in there.
I suppose that is a start. Actually, do you have contacts with any of the family members of us we talked to?
So far, the listings we have of missing homes that are available are people from the Golden Hand Estate. He is missing his nephew that was visiting.
Golden Hand Estate, which we do know about.
Obviously, the slavers themselves had many of their stock go missing as well.
And the slavers missing their people. Right, so we have two.
And there's even a few citizens down at the orphanage who had their parents missing.
Oh, goodness. Orphanage, parents. Missing. Have you talked to any of these families? Have they said anything at all? Like, any clues and any strange behaviors before they went missing? Or taken away, or some. However method this happened to work.
So far, the only information we have about this is simple. It would seem that the people are always acting normally about, and always disappear in the middle of the night. The only thing linking all the places together from as far as we can tell is, well, the fact that they've been getting higher and higher up in the social ladder chain. We're not even sure for the purposes we say. We think we are expecting ransom notes any day now from the Rat Snakes Guild, perhaps. They are doing one big ransom all at once, is our suspicion, our working theory at the moment.
I see. So, they're all over the place, and there isn't really any predictability to strike next, so...
At the moment, no.
I suppose our bait plan could, because we don't have any specific to go to, don't stress up and wait.
Though there has been one interesting thing of a late development that's been a bit odd, I might say.
Oh, really? Then do tell.
We're not sure if this is related, but food stocks and weapon has been stolen, and weapon storages have been pilfered of late.
Food storage and weapon. Oh, right. Huh. They are creating a little army, aren't they? Well, it just seems like that. Anyways, very interesting. Well, that does sound a bit like thievery activity. You know, the guild thief activity. I suppose that's a good place to start. Alright.
Does this mean they're not eating them?
She's looking between the two of you.
Oh.
The
That is a
captain's
loud
got a
silence.
very...
Well, we don't know for sure. After all, we could be dealing with any sort of creature, member of this guild, so it could be a possibility that all these people are being eaten. There isn't anybody in the case that this is actually it. But, we'll see. I don't think they would be eating. I feel like there'd be traces of blood or some sort of thing. When there are dead bodies, after all, there's quite a smell comes with, at least I would assume.
Effie looks at the other guide and kind of reaches over to pat the back of their hand, is just like,
Do not worry, we'll take care of the bad people. What?
Heath, that's you.
Oh, sorry, yeah, see. This is, See, the guard's looking very uncomfortable at this spider lady talking about eating people.
Well, we are on the case and we are here on business, so, if things happen, can we ask for backup? Or...
Well, sorry, what was that? I missed that.
If since we are here on official business, and would it be possible to get any more backup? Or if we need more information, would soldiers know? Not soldiers. The authority would at least if we're on the case of something.
If you're on the case, you have the permission of the very to go anywhere in the city that you wish.
Oh, marvelous! Thank you so much.
Interview anyone you need to think must interview, including the Sultan himself, if you so wish.
Oh, goodness. And, do you give me your name again? Sorry, I don't believe I've introduced myself. Pardon me, my name is... Did I introduce myself? Well, anyways, I'm Audrey Crawley. And you are?
Sergeant. Sorry. Sergeant. Blades.
Orson?
Your
Sergeant
hand
Blades.
is very soft.
She's still holding it to it.
Yes. Thank you. She's kind of...
she's like has one in her palm and is like caressing the back with the other one over the fur.
Yeah, he's just wide-eyed freaking out. You kind of see his tail just doing that like when when a cat's tail puffs out when they're freaking out.
Yep.
It's kind of what his tail's doing.
Oh my god. Now, Effie, this may not be part of your culture back at your home, but we normally don't touch people unless we ask first. Or introduce ourselves first.
Oh.
Effie leans her face down, so she's taller than this cat person, I'm guessing.
Probably, yes.
It leans
they're
her
only about-
face. Yeah, leans her face down so she's eye level. It's just like,
This isn't making you uncomfortable, is it? I would be so sad if it were.
It's okay. It's my pleasure to serve all. He's just kind of clearing his throat.
Effie looks back at the group, just like,
See, it's fine.
But if this is all you need, you can go back to your business, Miss Audrey, was it?
Yes, Miss Audrey. Alright, well, I suppose these are sufficient clues for now. We're just gathering information as we can go. But we do have a little plan, so hopefully it pans out the way we hope it does.
Are we leaving now?
Yes, now we're leaving. We have, well, we don't have any more business here, so say goodbye to this good sir here.
Okay, goodbye, Mr. Kitty Cat.
she lets go of his hand to pet his head.
You just hear this.
Effie will let go and follow the group.
It seems we'll have to look into the custom back to not offend later. Look at that in the library later. Well, anyways, thank you, good sir. Information. We'll be around town for a little while, so if you have any more developments, we may come back.
Yes,
Very
see
good.
you. Don't be bad.
You guys head back outside of the Imperius, out of the city guard watch, back into the streets of Imperius. Well,
Oh, that
disturbing the guards within there and being slightly racist unwittingly.
Well, that was a pleasant interaction.
It was, wasn't it? The guards here are very nice.
How wonderful.
See, so we now have more information. Go to the orphanage. We could go see. We could go to the Golden Hand Estate. I wish. Do you think we should look for Mr. Darcy and give him a little bit of an update? What do you think, Miss Miriam? Nudge, nudge.
Oh, I'm muted. Miriam kind of gives a look.
If you think it is possible he's found something useful, I suppose we could, though I am skeptic.
Skeptic. And how are you skeptic? What parts do you think are a little bit suspicious? He just kind of leans in.
Him
Very
finding
attentive.
it Useful.
Sorry, say that again.
I'm insulting him. I'm saying the man finding anything useful. He seems eager and little then.
Seems eager. Well, we do have to start somewhere, so unfortunately, we don't really have much of a choice now, do we?
I suppose not.
Well, I'd say maybe we'd walk around and find out. Oh, wait. I just remembered. And, here, put him on my thing. But, Audrey is going to cast, cast sending! Or not sending, message! To whoever the heck he is. And I don't have...
Message?
Yes, it's one of my cantrips, but it's not.
Yeah, you're mixing up message with sending.
Heck! Okay.
Message only works within 150 feet. You have to know where they are and point at them.
Oh, that's right. Okay, never mind. Scratch that. Pretend you didn't hear anything. Well, suppose we are meeting up. Anyways, later, we passed by, Mr. Winchester. Of all the places that we discussed, which is the closest around here?
So you guys are at the watch house. So Winchester will turn to and goes, oh, I would say the closest thing around here would be the library of the Golden Hand Estate.
We could hit two birds with one stone. Well, how about we go to the Gold Hand Estate?
Okay, so you guys are going to make your way to the Gold Hand Estate. And while we do that, we're going to get a quick private chat with Michael in the Whisper Room.
In the
For his
Whisper Room.
scene.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Give me a second to get there. Whisper.
Oh, right, let me move you.
Yeah. Do we have to do that? I can't.
Power of God compels you to move to the Whisper.
Okay, Michael. So you wandering through the streets, and you head down to knowing your criminal activities and stuff. You head down towards what would be the slummy areas, you being well aware of criminal activities and to such. By the way, the other reason I'm not giving you a contact instant is because your criminal activity is completely the opposite of the ones that rule this town, too.
Fair.
So if you're unaware, like, we're freedom fighter criminals and we have complete contact with the fucking criminal underground.
Well, you know, like we're odd bedmates.
Yeah. They take slaves and murder people. We free them. there's some connection. There was.
They keep us in business. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So you head down towards the area where you hit the slums, where you kind of run into what looks to be like an old-style beggar, but your well-trained eye and known of system knows that this beggar is obviously one of the fake sort that goes around doing the pickpocketing sort of begging. As you can tell that his limp isn't quite a true limp, and his fakery with his bandaged eye, he can obviously see through the bandage.
Got it. I'll just go up to him and be like, and I'll just say to him, "Oh, poor day to be standing here in the heat. I just think, here, have a gold piece." And I'll just kind of like place a gold piece in his hand, give him a little wink, you know, kind of like that signal of I know what the fuck you really are. Let's head somewhere off and talk.
Of course, good sir. I'd be more than happy to assist you. What you see is actually what I forgot to describe. Is looks like a kind of messed up, kind of broken old tabaxi with kind of like an arched back and kind of like an eye patch, like I say, bandages around his eyes and kind of like patched off fur. Kind of looks like a street cat, right? Kind of the sickly street cat look is what you have for this tabaxi.
Patch fur missing.
Yeah, he just down this way, please, and he kind of like walks down there, and he takes you down to the back. So he's like, as you do though, as he straightens up from his back arch, he goes, "I suppose you want some information then, if you're willing to pay gold."
Oh yeah, depends on how good the information is. So, got a quick question for you. We've had people in this.
You're breaking up pretty bad there, Michael.
Oh, am I?
Yeah. So try again.
I say to him, "So I've heard that people have gone missing. Been wondering what that's all about. Whether I should keep out of it or whatnot."
He kind of looks around. "Oh, I see. You're working with the guild, are you? Trying to take care of this." He looks around and is like, "Well, I don't know a lot about it. Though our suspects in our watch do suspect that it's perhaps the guild members doing the hits."
Ah, so the hits, eh?
"We're suspecting, since no one's heard anything about the people since they've gone missing. We assume it's large business family members taking care of each other, wiping out competition, if you would."
So you're thinking that it might be one of the higher noble families, or maybe a... do you think the Snakes Guild is involved in this?
Old Claw wouldn't do something like that. She prefers if it was just the merchants, perhaps, but she doesn't really care much for the slaves and the nobles.
That's what I was figuring. So you're thinking that it's a nobleman or woman who's pulling this off?
That's the theory working within our little thieves group, yes. We think it's
And what group is that, by the way?
He looks at you. I think
I give him like that kind of like cocky smile.
He kind of laughs at you and shows you a little tattoo of what very clearly to be a rat snake.
Alright. So I can assume he's part of the Snakes Guild?
Yeah, he's part of the Rat Snake Guild.
Got it. Alright. So you said it was who again? Which family member? Or do you not think it's any of them in particular?
I'm not sure which ones in particular. It's possibly the Swift Claw state is our working theory. But he could even be the Emperor himself. It could be the Sultan himself getting rid of competition for all we know.
Alright then. And has anyone seen them gone missing? You know, people are keeping an eye on the streets. You might have seen something, someone might have seen something they shouldn't have.
He looks around. Only a rumor from one of our other, beggar class people, but... And he kinda... That sort of information does cost, of course.
Oh, of course. How much looking to... How many, weeks of food you're looking to buy?
Oh, I'm a rather heavy eater, he says as he kinda shows his palm open.
I'll put in a good 7 gold. Kind of gauge his reaction.
He kind of jingles the coins at him. Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion, eh?
Keep it in GM layer so the player doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah, no, I was just checking.
Okay. Yeah, not bad. Okay, from what we heard, apparently one of the missing people that went earlier, one of our local beggars in the guild, saw them just merely this person will walk out in the middle of the street and leave the city streets. He didn't follow him. Huh?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, basically says, one of the people we saw wandered out of their homes and just wandered down the city streets unmolested and just wandered down the street and disappeared after a while. We didn't follow him, we had nothing of it, but it turned out later that that person who left into the streets in the middle of the night is one of the people that was reported to go missing later.
So I just walked out and left?
That's at least what we were told.
Sorry, I'm just typing this out.
Yeah.
I am trying to be better at taking notes, because I probably should get into the habit of doing that.
Not a bad idea. No worries there.
I just look at him and say, alright. I'm sure you and I will be in touch. I'll let you know if we find anything. Don't want us, those who take to the streets, we gotta watch out for each other, right? Make sure everyone's safe.
Indeed, friend. Indeed. And alms for the poor. And he kind of goes back into his old beggar statue as he walks back into the streets.
8 gold well spent.
Hey, and we can head back into general now.
Okay.
My province has like no schooling for this, despite the fact that it feels like in rural Alberta and everything it would be like a heavily requested thing. But
Damn. Also, welcome back.
Hello.
Thanks.
Okay, so Chris's private scene, or Michael's private scene is over. So as you guys were heading to the Golden Hand Estate, correct? Okay, so as you guys do though, this time as you guys make towards the Golden Hand Estate, you do pass by the giant building being constructed on the way there, the Magic Mole. You see a very odd sign being built there as you're walking past.
And what does the sign read?
It says Mix Magic and Meta Mole.
Oh, so that's what you meant by big names. Mixed magic. Matter mole?
Meta.
Meta mole. Mixed magic meta mole. Well, that sounds rather interesting. I mean, I can understand from the size that not many people would want to look at it. It's a little bit blocky, but I maybe I want to investigate this later.
Out of curiosity, why do you have so many buildings?
Well, it is a city, and cities tend to congregate a lot of people, and slowly more people want to live here, and the more people that you have, the more to take care of them. So we have things like more shops, and more houses, and more places to relax and enjoy themselves.
You're not afraid of them falling down and crushing everyone inside?
Well, unfortunately that does happen, but that's something with more natural disasters and large fires and fights. But usually there are protocols and regulations in order to make sure that does not happen.
Oh, how unpleasant.
It's actually quite nice once you get to live in one. What kind of environment did you live in?
Oh, there are not many buildings. Many homes are far away from the eye.
Oh, so it's sort of like our rural country.
Sort of. The lands are much less green.
Aha. Well, I can imagine after all that's where the Greystone name comes from.
Oh yes, everything looks as if it were destroyed.
Oh, goodness. So then, would you be living in a cave situation, or do you burrow underground? Do you have any systems, any tunnels?
I lived in a cave. Others find their own home.
And over here, it's so different. How are you adjusting to the sun? I'm quite sweaty over here. Do pardon me if I do smell a bit.
Oh, you're fine. The sun doesn't bother me. Sometimes it bears down very hot over there, and sometimes we don't see it at all.
Oh, I see. Oh, 1 second, I'm being summoned.
By the way, Nikki, you have legitimately made a character that will give me nightmares. Well done.
I'm glad.
I never
Creepy
thought I would
characters are
ever.
always fun.
I never thought a player character in a game like this would ever make me feel squirmish.
It's a brilliant character, though, I gotta admit.
You mean make you feel all happy and fuzzy inside?
Yep, like a tarantula's leg.
Exactly.
I love creepy characters. My first creepy character was like a rat girl who grew up in the sewers, so this is fun.
I could deal with that. It's just spiders.
I'm trying to think of what other creepy characters I've done. I did like a lot of lizard folk, which are always like you want to go for that near alien mind
Yeah.
idea.
Oh.
My very first Roll20 character was a lizard folk warlock. Actually, are we waiting on Zach or are we just talking?
Oh no, I'm here
Okay.
now. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll stop interrupting.
No, that was
No,
fine. Zaku was off for a bit. So anyways, as you guys are walking, though, you do see, as you guys are wandering down the street, as Darcy kind of comes up for you just as you're about to hit the Golden Hand Estate.
Oh, look at that! So we meet again. Darcy! I'm just kind of waving emphatically, very excitedly.
Effie will copy.
I
I
love
will
it.
stare.
I don't know if he could hear us.
Hold on. Darcy!
Should I grab him?
Oh, you can do that.
Michael, are you there, man?
Hello?
I was trying to have a conversation the whole time.
I figured!
No, like as soon as I see them, I'll just be like, there you are. I told you I'd find you. And I brought back some news.
Oh, did you? He just kind of trots up to him.
Hey, well, let's find a nice, quiet place to talk about that when we get a chance, and I'll tell you.
Oh, quiet place. Oh, is this something secret?
I prefer to keep my conversations. Low key, if you get my drift.
Ah, I see. Alright, you don't want to keep things a little confidential, you don't want extra ears on us. Alright, sounds good. Well, we also have some news. We visited the watch house in the city. We've found information. Right now we are on a lead. On the Golden Hand Estate, apparently someone's nephew has gone missing. He's one of the nobles, I suppose, that disappeared. So we're going to see if there's any information on that.
What household is that noble from?
And Audrey lifts up a finger. Sorry, what?
It's the Golden Hand family, hence the Golden Hand Estate.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Golden Hand family is the one that would be visiting. After all, the Golden Hand Estate, so it's going to be the family. It's over there.
Oh, okay. Here. I'm not sure who'd want to lead this. I don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty good when it comes to dancing around words.
Oh, are you? Well,
I've been known to tell a tale.
Well, you know what? Since you're so confident in it, why don't you lead the way? I mean, I do like to talk, but I do like to ramble just a bit.
Don't worry, you can join in the conversation, it'll be great.
Oh, that's going to be so exciting. I don't think I've met any nobles in person before.
Are we going to talk to special people?
Oh yes, very special.
I'd think just more of wealthy and high ranking in this society.
How are they high ranked?
They have a lot of money.
That's basically it. The more money you have, the more you can buy. The more you can buy.
Outsiders are so strange.
That we are. Yeah,
Coin
why don't
shouldn't
you...
be underestimated, though. With a large providing of coin, one can learn many a task, many a tool, many a skill. If you do not need to worry about your daily survival, you can become much more skilled than the average citizen.
Do you like money?
There is very much a purpose for it. Yes, I do like it.
I see it more as a means to an end, if anything.
If I give you a coin, will you smile? You don't smile very much.
That is true. I've yet to see you smile.
What was that you said?
I don't smile at all.
At
Can I
all.
pay you to?
The face actually grows a bit angry with that.
no.
Here, why don't you two should respect his boundaries a bit, or her boundaries a bit.
I just thought since she said she likes coin, that would make her happy.
And it was a
It's under
good thought.
consideration. Well, that's all right. You know, you do you, and you know. Although I'm sure you have a very charming smile, I won't force you to do anything. So, let's Mr. Darcy, would you lead the way?
But of course! And I will just kind of start moving up a little bit.
How tall is Darcy, by the way?
About 5'6", 5'8", around that range.
Alright, Effie will walk behind, like, uncomfortably close and just kind of loom over.
Oh, why are you doing this to me?
Said she's 6'5".
Oh my god.
Yep. Looks like the girl from The Ring on a...
On a spider body!
I'm not gonna lie, like, Darcy's fine. I am not.
Guess who's drawing this at some point?
Now you know how...
Don't.
I guess you...
How tall is Sorry. How tall is Miriam as well?
About 3'4".
Oh, that's right, 3'4".
I'm a kobold.
That's
I'm
right.
very
Okay.
small.
Yeah, she's small. Alright, continue. Sorry.
And there's this giant GIF man just walking next to you, towering over all of you.
Oh, right, I forgot he was there.
So as
Is
you
this Dylan's
guys...
character?
Pardon?
Is this Dylan's character, by chance?
No, the GIF is not Dylan's character. You will meet Dylan's character next game. I have a way you're going to meet him that can be thrown in at any time, so...
Is he gonna fall from the sky?
I'm also very concerned the fact that we can meet anywhere.
But the falling from the sky thing, me and Dweeby talked about, and like that's what we agreed upon would be an amazing way to get someone from the I was trying to figure out how to get someone from the Greystone Empire into the Empire. like that is hundreds. That's like thousands of miles you have to travel across 2 countries. Okay, you got on a rock and it drops you.
She shot her web at what she hoped was food, but was a lot bigger than she expected.
Perspective was a bitch.
It's like that Gravity Falls theme. Is that a really tiny leopard, or is that just perspective? Oh god, it's perspective!
It's exactly.
It's perspective!
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
God, I love that. What a beautiful entrance.
So anyways, as you guys walk up to the giant estate of the Golden Hand Estate, you see this giant-sized building. It has a nice kind of like large picket fence, very large and well-defined like marble walls, very fine bushes and flower gardens. It's a lovely area, just massive and huge. You go up there, you see the large wooden oak doors with like engraving on them. We're sitting there as you march to the front door, and you see like a little pull rope that you, Darcy, recognize being a person of culture, as well as you, Darcy, as would be a high-class doorbell that only the rich can really afford.
Oh.
Ooh. I will go up to it and just kind of give it a ring.
Now, as you start ringing
Audrey's gonna... Oh, sorry.
as you ring the doorbell and you slowly realize you hear footfalls approach the door.
As soon as the door opens, because Audrey immediately started pressing her nose to the carving of the door. It's like, look at this beautiful little, all the details, and I wonder what kind of chisel they use. Oh, I would love to see the hands of the artist. And as the door opens, she's gonna kind of stumble forward a bit.
As you open it up, what you see before you is a finely dressed drow man in like a butler suit. He stands before you and goes, "Hello, may I help you?" And this is the man you are looking at.
Also dapper.
I will say...
Definitely not evil by the smirk.
I guess I will kind of step to the front and I'll just say, good evening, sir. Is the Lord or Lady of the house here present and available? We're looking into the missing persons case and we want to ask some questions.
Yes, Lord Goldhands is available. Please wait here while I go get him. He is consoling himself in his study at the moment.
Of course. Take your time.
He wanders off. And he disappears into a corner, and you see and after a few minutes pass, you see this very large-looking fat dwarf with this thick beard and a stain-looking clothing and armor and a pipe wander out before you.
Ooh. That's fancy.
Look at that mohawk, though.
As he wanders out towards you, he goes, "What's all this about then? What you all doing here at my estate?"
Hello!
The name's Darcy. Me and my associates here are looking into the disappearances lately, and we've come to ask you some questions if you don't mind answering. I know it's a trying time for you, but we're looking to help you out if we can.
Fair enough. Follow me. And he opens the door and lets you to come in.
You have a lovely estate, by the way. I was admiring the carvings on your door. That alone is already magnificent enough, and that beautiful doorbell. Goodness, you don't see that lately.
I just walk in and follow him.
Years of collecting their loss. Made quite a killing up here in Imperius. As he says,
What
smoking
is your-
his pipe.
What's in the room we're in?
Pardon?
What's in the room we're in?
At the moment, I didn't decorate a thing. It's like you guys see like fine statues, paintings, tapestries. This place is decked out.
I love how the black splotches move with you. It's so cool. Sorry.
I will look at him and I will say, So what is your business anyway? You've got an impressive manner here.
I do a bunch of stuff. I sell mostly my enchantment of weaponries and stuff.
Enchanted weapons.
Indeed, I made my start over in the hills of the Golden Beards, and decided to move to Imperius for a more luxurious lifestyle.
It's quite a place you've got here.
The luxurious life you are living. Oh, yes, I could fit an entire party, maybe part of the university over here as well.
Do we see other people here, by the way? Like, are we passing by, like, servants or something like that?
Occasionally you see, like, a maid or something, but it looks like it's just him and the dark elf you've seen.
Okay.
There
At the
are a
moment.
lot of round people in this city.
Did you just call me fat there, Lassie?
No. She means to say she's not used to seeing people of below, like, 5 feet. She comes from a place of tall people.
Oh no, I meant he's
Nev-
very round.
Oh, very
Why?
good. What? As Chester walks up behind. Hey,
Forgive her. She's not from around here. She's not she's not accumulated to the customs here.
And
he
then
looks
not at
up
all.
and down. I recognize it. Haven't seen one of their sorts in a long time.
A long time. Have there been before?
It had been about 2.5 centuries since I saw one when I was with a lad.
Oh goodness.
Wow.
Well, that's way past my my birth time.
Hey, mine too. But you must forgive her. She dropped in by no volition of her own, apparently.
Literally dropped in, actually.
Don't see many of them outside of the Underdark cities. I only saw them once, and I was back when I visited the Grey Halls as a lad.
Oh, did they try to kill you?
He looks you up and down. No, they did not try to kill me. They were actually
don't
rather pleasant, to be
worry.
honest. You're a bit of a freak, in my opinion.
Oh dear.
Why, thank you. And then Effie kind of leans over to the others and is just like, what is a freak?
Person of unique qualities.
Oh. Effie looks towards the guy. You are also very freakish.
That is one way to put it, and I'll show you the dictionary version of that word later.
Hey, so your office. As I'm just literally just trying to hurry, like him along, just trying to like trying to distract him, and like so he breaks eye contact.
You said you were here to talk to me about my missing nephew, were you?
I know this is a trial. This may be a trial for you, but I promise you, we're looking into it to the best of our abilities. So I just want to ask you some questions, and I'm sure my associate, and I gestured at Audrey, probably has a ton of questions of her own. So would you like to take this up in your office, somewhere more comfortable?
He kind of looks you around. To be honest, I think we'll be able to discuss things just fine right here at the moment, but I suppose you can join me to the sitting room if you need to be more comfortable.
Oh no, it's all up to you. I just want to make sure that
That's
you...
fine, it's just over here. And he takes you guys to the left, towards the sitting room.
Ah, I can see the whole thing.
Ooh.
Feel free to take a seat whenever you want.
Oh goodness, this is the size of one of my classrooms.
Effie will make her way up to the ceiling.
And there she goes again. How high are these ceilings?
They're roughly like 8 feet because he's a dwarf. So they're a little shorter than the average ceiling.
Audrey's just closely watching
So
how
Effie's
she...
basically hanging upside down. If you're like straight bodied, Effie's like head is only like 2 feet from the floor at this point, and meanwhile
Yeah.
Winchester is kind of like stooped down, and like his head is just kind of barely touching the ceiling.
How is it that the blood does not rush to your head whenever you're in this state?
Well, my body is sort of acclimated to things like this.
It is true. I don't know what the anatomy is like. I do have to check that out in the library later. Oh, right. So, the Gold Hand, was it?
Yes, that's the name.
Hello. So, my name is Audrey Crowley. This is my companion / bodyguard Miriam, and this is also little Effie over here. Well, actually, not quite little doll. And Mr. Darcy here, as he introduced himself earlier. We are on official business, and we did talk to the watch house earlier. I, myself, and Miriam are from Owl's Tree, and we are, well, researchers on the case of this. So far, we're just trying to find some clues as to figure out who and or what is causing the disappearances. So, could you tell us a bit about what happened? If you could retrace the events, if you would.
Of course, I'd be glad to retrace the steps for you, especially if you're from Owl's Tree. I assume you must be sent by one of the Owl Lord himself, I'm guessing.
Oh yes, he's my mentor. He's wonderful to work with.
You don't say. Never met the man myself.
He is as glorious as they say. I've only gotten really a glimpse, but it's quite an otherworldly experience.
Aye, but in any case, alas, the fact of the matter is my nephew is visiting me down from the Golden Beards, from my little sister. He came up here because I was hoping to one day hand off the business. I don't have any direct kin of my own. My nephew's the closest relative, so I was hoping to take him here to have him brought up on the business and show him the ropes to continue on after I go. But the fact of the matter is after a few weeks here, all of a sudden, he just disappeared one day. He was in his room, I had bidden him good night, and when I woke up in the morning, the front door was open and he was gone.
Oh dear. Was he sleeping by himself?
Aye, he was sleeping by himself, but Jeddah said he heard the door open up, and when he came down, all he could see was the door wide open, and when he came down, by the way, Jeddah's my butler, if you're wondering. Okay?
You good there?
Yeah. Jeddah's my butler, and he said that he was able to come down and find the fact that the door was open, and he saw him just wander out in the distance just before he could make his way out. He came to get me to see what was happening, but the time he got to me, the boy had already gone. We're not sure where.
Oh, so what it looked like was he walked out on his own volition.
It would appear so, indeed, though we have no idea what could have happened. We suspect magic of a sort, but I usually have defenses against anyone entering my home uninvited.
Well, may I ask 2 questions of you?
Of course.
How old is your nephew?
Just a boy, nearly 80 years old.
Right, you dwarfs age much differently than the rest of us.
Much differently.
Just a young man, really. He's just starting to get his days off.
If you could put that into perspective for me.
1920 in your human years.
Alright, so...
He is very young.
Young, but not completely inexperienced.
Of course.
Not a child, no, but young for a man.
He's a young adult.
So, Viera, tell me then, if you got magical protection against people invading your home, could it be possible your nephew met someone out on the street who might have put a charm on him or something of the sort?
I suppose it might be possible, but he was acting normal during dinner when I saw him that night. Charms usually have some sort of detectable ability to them when they're under him for a while.
Well, it could be a delayed effect, maybe. I don't know much about magic. I kind of look at Audrey. I'm like, is that something that could happen? I'm spitballing here.
Would that be something that would know about?
Audrey.
Arcane check, was it?
Yep, an arcane check, yep.
I have to remember that I'm not very good at magic.
Yep, different character.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a thing.
Arcana. 23!
Nice.
Well, with that much power... Aren't you proficient with Arcana?
I guess. I got 4 extra points on it.
Oh, something's screwy with your sheet. I'm gonna fix it for you.
Oh no.
I'm fixing it right now. There you go.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I don't think the Arcana...
It was actually a 24 you got.
Oh shit.
Because for whatever reason, the sheet's not updating your stuff automatically properly, so I gotta do it manually. For your stat increases you gave yourself. Thought that was wrong. You guys want to double check that with your sheets too, just in case, but...
Mine's looking
So
right.
what was wrong? Mine looks
her,
right.
her modification was wrong. It wasn't giving her a +4. It was giving her a giving Audrey a +3 instead of a +4.
I see.
So in that case,
Mine
I had
seems
to
right, yeah.
adjust. Yeah. I happened with one of my sheets too. There's a glitch with the sheets lately.
Okay.
Wait, how do you know it's doing that?
You just gotta make. I'll check yours for you, Nikki. Yours are all right. I just we had just built Audrey's character today, so I had I know the numbers.
Yeah,
That's
the
fair.
guide was like very last minute. I had stuff ready in my head, but I had to
Yeah,
do the thing.
thought you had a bit more time, kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. So I knew what the numbers should have been, and I realized that's wrong. So I looked at the sheet and realized Audrey's sheet was wrong. So yeah. So anyways, as I was saying, so he So even better, 24. You know of the fact that it is possible to charm someone. There are many ways of doing it.
Mhm.
Usually, the dwarf is correct. Usually, there are tells when someone is charmed. It's usually there's a flaw to it. Either the only types of charm you're aware of that could be delayed like that without any sort of influence would be that of vampiric nature.
Impured?
Vampiric. In other words,
Vampiric.
vampires.
Oh, vampiric nature. Okay.
But vampires in the Empire are damn near unheard of. It pretty much have been extinct and only exist in the Greystone lands.
Okay. Well, this is true. The charms do have tells to them. There's, every spell has their weakness. There's no such thing as a perfect, there's a perfect spell. However, there is a charm where it can be delayed, but it's not something that seems likely. But in science, as we like to say, if there's a chance, then the possibility is there. Vampires have this ability to charm people and have the reaction come later. But vampires are nearly unheard of. And Effie, have you seen any vampires in hometown?
There is a possibility, yes.
Would you know anything about vampire biology and such? Or possibly how the spell would work?
Would she?
Roll me a Arcana check.
Oh, whoop.
Nope.
You know they have pointy teeth.
No.
Would I by chance know something?
Would any of us know it?
Everyone may make an Arcana check on the vampire.
Effie would just be like,
Ooh, natural one. Nope, never heard of him.
Actually,
Vampires don't exist. Oh my god, all of you! All of you!
Effie
got
would
no
just be like,
clue.
from what I know, they have very sharp teeth. Actually,
and she opens her mouth and shows her two fangs.
maybe I am one.
Ah! That's not Darcy, that's me. Just why are you doing this?
That's
I'm just
amazing.
gonna go right up to her face like, oh my goodness, what beautiful fangs you have. Oh, right, we're on a mission. Well, it's a good thing we're next to a library, isn't it?
My god, so yeah, you know they got pointed tooth. Mirren, you're like vampires. They're undead, right? I think they're undead? Maybe the
I know they're
werewolves,
undead, but it's very like, I've never interacted or cared.
Yeah, you know nothing about them. Michael, with Darcy, all you know about vampires is, yeah, they're undead, and you know something that they're not fond of sunlight, but that's about the far as you get.
I know they don't like sunlight. I don't. It's not my area of expertise. I'm more of the charming sort of man.
Oh, actually, that could be a connection because all of these disappearances have been happening at night specifically.
Oh, that could actually be a. Hi, that could be a connection. Like I said,
You get out there, Michael.
You could have.
Oh, I said, that's actually a very interesting point. I know vampires don't like sunlight, so that could make sense.
Well, now that this is within the realm of possibility, because I haven't heard of them being extinct exactly, we could have a possible suspect, but we'll keep that on the bench for now.
When you say that, Golden Hand's face kind of goes a little pale. Are you saying you're suspected of vampire?
Well, it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Like you said, there are very few charms that do not have tells, and vampires are capable of one of them.
If that's true, this is worse than anything I could imagine.
I mean,
These
if
things are
Effie here
beyond dangerous.
could ride a rock all the way to the city, which is countries away, then, it could be, unfortunately, a possible case.
And vampires just look like normal folk, right?
A vampire could be anything, even a GIF.
Oh, goodness.
I slowly turn towards Winchester.
What? I'm no vampire. There's no fang marks on me. I'd have a hard time getting through this skin. What? As he kind of shows his neck to see nothing there.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure, go for it.
Oh my god.
I really hope I get a natural 20. Just have to go and whisper. He's like, no, he's lying. He's a vampire.
GIF vampire. I gotta create one of those now.
7.
It's canon!
You
That's 7.
have no clue, but you're looking at those big, huge teeth the hippo have, and part of you like, are those sharper than they should be?
I got my eye on this guy. Just kind of give him a nod, like, nah, but in my back of my mind, like, maybe.
On the
Back to
plus side,
Golden
he
Hand.
has been walking out with you guys in the middle of a desert sun this whole time.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's true. Well, I suppose we'll just have to look into that more now, shouldn't we? So, was that it, really? Is that are those all the clues that you could possibly give? Is that he was asleep, he was fine? How many days was he visiting for?
He was supposed to be visiting me for about 3 months. This was his trip. He was here for, like I said, a couple of weeks before it happened. If
Just
you
a
can find
couple
him
of
back, I'll be most grateful for you.
Yes, we'll do what we can. We do know that this did start about a month and a half ago, so this is within the timeline. Oh, this is very concerning. Would it be alright if we talked to your what's his butler, servant, helper?
Jadad.
The one who opened the door for us.
Jadad.
Jadan.
If you want to speak with him, he takes up and goes into his pocket, takes out a little bell and goes ding 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 ding. It's like out of nowhere behind you, just yes. It's just almost like he teleported there. Darcy's right behind you as he's just leering over top of you.
Effie's delighted by the bell.
May I help you, sirs?
Can I look at their neck?
Pardon me, you did what?
I said, can I look at their neck?
Sure, you roll me a perception check.
12.
Wow.
You look at his neck, you can see that you don't see any bite marks.
Okay. By the way, is this going to be the new I look at their neck is going to be the new I smell them?
Apparently. You guys are terrified of vampires.
I turn back to Mr. Goldhands. I'm like, I do have one last question for you then. You said your business was making magical arms, right?
Indeed.
Well, if we're potentially going up against a vampire, I'm not sure how much of our equipment is ready to take on such a creature. I don't know much about them, but they sound scary, if nothing else.
He kind of looks your party over and goes, if you're all up against a vampire, I don't think any sort of arms are going to help you much.
We'll do have
Those
anything
are
that
the most
could.
vicious killers we know, but the best bet to have against a vampire as far as my... Tidan! Yes, you're from the Underdark areas, wherever... Do you know anything about the beasties? Indeed, sir. As far as I'm aware, the best thing to do with the vampires, if you face one, is to surround yourself in objects of holy light, as well as any sort of mystical holy water. Perhaps going to the temple and procuring some from the priests there would be most viable for you, sir. Holy oils could be added to your weapons that would make it more effective against the undead such as them.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And could you? And could I look over to Goldhunt and like, well, if we do get across this, and I know they don't like sunlight, is there any way we could reproduce sunlight?
As far as I'm aware, there's a lot of magic that could do it. But I don't know if your crew can handle that sort of thing. Apart from
I look
that,
over at Audrey. I'm like, is that something you can do?
Well, I do know a spell that makes light in general, but not sunlight and personified, per se. Would you know any spells that do that specifically?
No,
like,
most sunlight
general?
spells are pretty fair high level and is more of the druidic nature.
Oh. Would you know that it's druid-esque?
I'd say the fact that you're a studier of magic, you know it's more of a clerical druidic style. The holy magics tend to have sunlight versus the arcane.
Okay. I'm not proficient at all in that kind of field, but if you meet up a cleric, it's very specifically, there's a lot of druid creatures tend to follow in that sort of field. We could probably talk to the holy areas in the city and see what they have to say. But again, these are just precautions, but we don't know if it's official. Well, anyways, Mr. Jadon, was it?
Yes?
No, so we have just been briefed on the story of how Mr. Goldhand's nephew had disappeared, and you were the first one to see that he had... Well, it seems like he walked out, was it?
Indeed.
Could you maybe tell us your version and see if there's any gaps we could fill?
Well, as far as as I said, I was working as I do at night, making sure everything was tip-top shape for the Lord... for Lord Goldhands, when all of a sudden I heard a stirring at the doorbell open. When I exited, I hurried to the kitchen with my ability to keep things protected. Upon doing so, when I left the city, I saw the poor boy leave the city out into the street. At first, I thought it was rather odd. Perhaps I figured he was going out for dinner, but instead, more specifically, I should say, came about a... Sorry, I'm kind of losing track here. I got seven things happening at once. He said he was going out, and then I thought he was going about town that night. I called out to him swiftly, but he didn't answer me. I quickly decided to call to Mr. Goldhands, figuring something may be wrong, but when I retrieved the master and we came back down, the young master had disappeared.
So the young master, he told you he was going out, or he did not notify anybody?
He did not notify anyone, my dear miss. Just simply vanished from the middle of the street.
Which direction was he heading?
He was heading towards south, though I swear I heard what sounded like the slight sounds of splashing at the end. Not sure what that could mean. It had been raining the night before. Perhaps he had just hit a puddle that was still around.
Maybe.
Though, oddly enough, not many puddles here in Imperius. The sand tends to eat them up quickly.
Hey, that's really makes sense. Do you mind? And I look over back to Goldhands. I'm like, Do you mind if we look through the boys' room, see if we can't find maybe a note or something?
Jadon, take him up to the room. Yes,
Thank you.
Follow me. And I will
While
take
they're walking, Audrey's gonna be writing down in her notebook. Like she always pretty much has it out all.
Takes you guys up to the stairs. Yep, as you guys take your stuff, you guys head up the stairs. This way,
Alright.
please. And right side of the map. The young master's room is over here. So to the right. Oh yeah. Yeah, you guys.
There's a magical invisible wall.
Where'd he go?
Down here.
Scared.
Guys.
Okay.
They'll put you in a room.
Thanks.
Yeah, there was a banister blocking you. I forgot the banister was there. In fact, you guys were actually kind of floating in the air when I brought you back over. I had to move you over.
Was south puddles.
Is Jadon still with us?
Oh yeah, the butler is there. He's just, there he goes. Audrey was covering him.
Puddles are rare.
Here, do you guys want to search the room? I do have a few more questions for Mr. Jadon here.
Well, let's look about. And I guess
Just so you know, I have left the room completely untouched since the young master left in case people needed to search it for any sort of clues.
Hey, smart of you. I do have a question for you though.
Yes.
In the days leading up to his disappearance, have you noticed him talking with anyone strange? Did he just one day seem a bit off or something? Maybe did he talk about meeting someone?
As far as my knowledge, I don't think he's talked to anyone strange, though he did often frequent some of the local taverns at night for his nightlight duties.
duties. What kind of duties did he have?
Oh, the Lord Goldhands wanted him to make relations with other business partners around the city, so often taking out drinks and meeting other various merchants of the area.
Ah, I see.
Do you happen to know which taverns he fancied?
Well, most of them, of course, went down up towards the Golden Oasis, where the rich like to partake of their parchments and drinks.
Interesting. Alright then.
Have you ever thought about hiring a tracker, like maybe find him by scent? Has that ever been done?
We have tried tracking him, but no such luck was to occur. We had a knoll hunter from the guild come by to help, but it seemed to be of no avail.
Did you say this is where he was last found?
This is where he was last seen, indeed.
Looking around the room, can Effie spot any cobwebs?
Going with that vampire spider theory, are we?
A different thing, but
Yeah, fair enough. Roll me I guess this would technically be investigation, but since you're doing it kind of nature specific, you can do either survival or investigation for this. Because you're looking for something organic.
never mind.
You begin to look around, and as you start looking around, something catches your eye on the table that distracts you completely. As what you see to be is a small stuffy toy that just catches your attention completely.
Oh,
She's gonna pick it up and look at Jadon and say,
since the person of this room is missing, may I have this?
There you go. There's the toy.
Oh,
Might I have this?
I suppose, it's fine. It was just a random toy the master used to keep around in case children visited.
Wonderful.
Effie will pocket.
Toy Griffin.
Wait, why would children be visited?
master has been known to acquaint people of families of other cities, and they often bring their children with them.
Has the master had any other guests come about as of late?
About 4 months ago, he had a visiting from, in fact, the Clockwork Mines gnomish family of the, cripes, give me a sec, guys. I have to actually look that name up again. It's been a while.
Yeah, good. I like to imagine this you finding that toy somehow leads to us solving the case.
Yep, but that one
I'm
leads
waiting
to
for
us.
it.
Leads to a case solve.
Hey, failing forward is a thing.
I was really hoping this would be based on perception. Gosh darn it.
Yeah, perception's kind of like more. You rolled a nat 1, no matter what you rolled. Yeah, you oh, jeez, there we go. It was you know what? I do not have the name of the people, so I will make one up. The
Huppadooms?
The Heffalumps?
The Huppadooms?
We'll call them the we'll call them the Gears, the Gnomish family Gears. The Gears family was here to produce some rather interesting mechanical devices for the Surd. Apparently there's a big work in Clockwork Mines right now, a massive project they're working on that they wanted some enchanted metal for, that the Master was more than happy to supply.
Interesting. But I'm assuming they've come and gone.
That was, I said, several months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know, they might have stuck around town for a little bit. Alright.
You know, I was wondering if not charmed by magic. Wait, is hypnotism a viable possibility? Would you think?
What, you think someone went, on the count of 3, you will follow me out into the hole. 1, 2, 3!
Well, it would work against the magical barriers in the house. It is something up close quarters. The only thing is, someone would have to be able to enter the house to get to him first.
As I said, we have magical defenses against any people entering the building.
Well, kind of, just out of curiosity, to make sure we're not forgetting anything and considering all of our options. What sort of defenses are you talking about? Like, are you talking about like just magical alarms going off if someone enters uninvited, or?
Yeah, we have various sorts, but if anyone is to enter the building of a certain, obviously we don't have it detect everything, because if a moth or fly flew in, things would go off randomly, but yes, we have magical defenses for magical alarms if anything enters the house uninvited.
Interesting. And do they last long, or?
Do you mean the alarm, or the enchantment itself is permanent on the house? Costs almost 50,000 gold to enchant this place.
Oh, no. I meant, like, the invitation. Does it last, like, once you're invited, are you always allowed in, or does it, like, expire within a time?
Once you leave, the invitation expires. Of course, family members are exempt from the ability, and there's ways to get permanent invitations within the city, within the building itself.
Did the young master have any, spats with anyone else?
I believe he did have a couple words of, let's say some rather specific words to have with one of the mistresses of the Swiftclaw family.
Swiftclaw family?
But Swiftclaws and the Golden Hands have been at business rivals for a while now.
Do you think the Swiftclaws would ever try some dirty tactics or something?
I suppose it's a possibility, my friend. The politics of the city have been cutthroat at times. After all, about 20 years ago, there was a massive destruction of the previous Sultan and his family.
Would I know anything about that?
How old is your character?
Like 23, so probably not.
You have been 3 years old, probably not.
Yeah.
And you're not from
Yeah,
the
no.
city.
Are there
Yeah, no,
windows
fair.
in the room?
There are windows, yes. Here and
Effie's gonna try to open one and peek out.
you try to open one and it seems to be kind of locked shut. You know, yeah.
She's gonna try to force it open.
Sure, roll me a strength check.
Oh boy.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So you just see Effie trying to open this window as she's leaning into it, like you see her like little spider legs going like really hard and start dragging across the floor wildly.
What kind of pushing is it?
There's magic on this window.
Indeed.
no-
Are you trying to open it there, Miss... I'm sorry, what was your name, Spider-Woman?
Effie.
Effie, yes. It requires a magical command word to open the window.
What is the command?
It only works for those who are compounded to the house and room like myself, but it simply is a window open. And just hear click. It goes,
Google window open.
Effie's gonna peer out the window.
okay, you peer out the window. You
Is
look
there any? Does it look like anyone's like climbed up or down this area?
roll me another survival check. It doesn't seem to be any signs of any kind of forced entry you can see from a large standpoint. No, like doesn't seem anybody had scaled it of any sort. But then again, you also are well aware of the fact that something like you wouldn't really leave a trace of scaling.
Not seeing anything, Effie will turn back to the room and she's gonna like crouch down and just start sniffing the carpet if she could smell blood.
Okay, roll me a perception check.
And Audrey's just gonna start looking around the room for anything suspicious looking.
Oh God!
Oh no!
So, Effie, as you start going around trying to sniff for blood, all of a sudden you get this weird scent, and you get this musky scent, and you start going up to Jeb as you just start smelling this Drow's cologne, and it just... she just crawl up to him and start sniffing his shirt. It's very musky, very Axe flavor cologne. She just...
No.
You smell very nice.
Thank you. Just is kind of looking at you. You know, you remind me of my great aunt, I must say.
Oh, was your aunt also an arachne?
No, she was a dryad, cursed by the dark goddess many millennia ago.
She sounds delightful.
Effie's gonna like just hold the end of his shirt to her nose and just.
Now, Effie, remember what we talked about at the station?
Personal boundaries, remember.
God, I love Effie's nat ones. They are just lead to
They're beautiful.
I got come up with some crazy shit. Okay, Audrey, roll me an investigation as you're peering around the room.
Investigation.
Effie, also to respond to your what you said,
God,
she's
roll
just like,
20 is hating you guys tonight.
Yeah, jeez.
I really wish I was a bard.
No inspiration here.
You know what? Winchester's gonna join you on investigation.
Sorry to do this, y'all, by the way. I'm just incredibly tired right now.
Oh, no worries,
I
man.
I hate to dip out early, but since Dylan's not here either, and I'm not talking much in these kind of talking situations, I am gonna dip out. Thank you very much for the room this week, Heath.
Yeah, no worries, Chris. We'll
I
probably
wish
pick
you
this
all a
up
good
in a
night.
month.
Sure
Yeah.
thing. Have a
Get
good
some
one.
rest.
yeah.
Aw.
Okay, so as you guys are looking over, we'll say Winchester's looking around, also investigating. After... Oh, you forgot to make yourself proficient with investigation, Zaku.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought. Wait. Oh.
It's okay, that would have made it an 8. It still wasn't very good.
Yeah. Can you help me fix these things later?
Yeah, I will. Like, I don't notice them until I see them, so we're getting the session... Well, this was session 0, now it's officially a full session. This was supposed to end at the guild.
But hold on, just
as you're looking around, Winchester looks around the floor and kind of Oh, this is very strange. There seems to be scratch marks on the floors and such. What?
Scratch marks. And Audrey will kind of come over, squat down to the floor.
That was probably from me trying to open the window.
Is this by the window?
No, it's actually up around the bedpost.
That was probably from me trying to open the window.
No, dear, this is actually looks like it's a bit different.
Does it look like a weapon like made this, or like maybe some sort of like thieves
Roll me a
like
nature
what?
check.
Oh God, why? You should not have asked the question.
I guess, how many scratches are there? Is it like rows of scratches, or is it just like single scratches?
It's like, well,
Because that's
it's
what
like,
we see.
yeah, it'd be something kind of like multiple scratches and lines. Oh wow, somebody
Why?
rolling out
I
20.
love this game.
So Darcy, you're not much of a nature person, but you've lived on the streets, and given what your backstory is, you recognize these. It's rodent. Looks like rat scratches.
Oh, son of a... Oh, you son of a bitch.
Oh, what did you figure anything out?
Well, you see here, these are rat scratches.
Rat scratches?
Ooh, delicious.
You know, I heard they're good if you put them in a mince pie. But the rat scratches, maybe the swift claws, and this is just a theory that I'm working on. Maybe the swift claws hired the rat thieves guild to take a quick look at, maybe to scout out the place. Or,
Jenin looks over at you, Darcy, goes, so you do realize the Rat Thieves Guild is not, in fact, it's a Rat Snakes Guild, and they are known for snakes, not rats.
I know, I'm making a joke here. That's what it is. Anyway, but no, in all seriousness though, I mean, I don't know, like, I just look over at, Audrey, I'm like, Audrey, do you know if people can use magic to influence animals or something? Like, because, and I look up back at, oh crap, Jadon?
Jadon,
Is that
yeah.
right?
I think his
Jadon?
name should be visible now.
No, it is, I'm looking at it, I'm just trying to pronounce
Jadon.
it right. I look at him and I say, you said that small pest won't set it off, right?
Yes, obviously if they did things like rats with crawling into the house, which, let's be honest, it's a city. Rats get in
absolutely.
occasionally.
Oh, absolutely, I understand that completely. But I look over back to Arcea.
Audrey.
Thank you. I look back at Audrey. I'm just like, by chance, do you know of anything like that? And I look at Effie. I'm like, do you? I'm not sure what. Like I said, this is a bit out my field of depth, but I can definitely tell you the rats.
What are you asking?
Is there any way someone can use magic to like influence rats or something like that? I have no idea.
I can ask them questions.
Yes, as she said, there's a way to communicate with the smaller animals and creatures. As far as influencing, though, would she know this?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Here we go! Boop. Oh wait, that's acrobatics.
That's acrobatics, but you rolled a 3, so
Are you
that
gonna
gives
take
you a
that?
grand should
I not roll then, or?
No, I always take the first roll. If you roll the wrong thing, I still keep the number.
Alright, cool.
So you rolled an 8. I know the modifier difference.
Okay.
So the person looks over. You don't know a lot about it. Again, outside your realm of expertise, all you do know is that it's not an arcane style magic. Again, you're guessing if it's possible, it's most likely druidic in nature. You know enough about druids that they generally the ones that speak to animals.
As I said, I can speak as well.
Maybe if you find, well, this place is very kept up to really well, but if you do see a rat, maybe could you try to ask, see if it's seen any stranger rats around. But This is not my realm of expertise, but I'm pretty sure there is some sort of way that an animal can be influenced. Again, druids are the more proficient in animal handling and such.
Well, if it's rats you're looking for, I suppose you could always go to the scrapyard on the outside of city. I believe lots of them go there.
And I don't mean to offend, but you haven't seen any other rats around here lately? Inside the estate? Around the estate?
I suppose a few are around old times. Rats, as I say, are probably a hazard of living in a city.
Of course.
Although I do tend to take care of them when I can. I do set traps and such, especially in the kitchen and the storage areas.
And none have been caught lately?
Now that you mention it, no, I haven't seen a rat caught in a while. Didn't think
So
about
that's
it till now, to be honest.
So that's a strange occurrence then. I wonder if maybe they're being gathered, maybe they're more rats of an influence on just the here.
Oh, Michael, you're breaking up.
Am I?
Yep.
Okay, getting staticky again.
It's probably just the headset. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
No problem.
We're sure it is.
I gotta figure out how to send this back to the people.
Heck.
They usually have a good return policy on Amazon.
Yeah, but I don't have the box anymore.
Oh, no.
You don't need the box, I don't think. Some depends. I don't know. You could try. Go to your local Kohl's. They can ship your stuff out without boxes free.
No, they usually want you to return everything you had in the box.
Heck. Well, see. At least we do have another strange. I suppose we could check in with the other families and see if they also have any rat problems. Yes, I suppose this is it. We didn't find anything else. So what we have so far is a recap. He left on his own. Only talked to slightly suspicious people, only because they're already family. Possibly could have had some butt with them. There is a strange occurrence, the appearance of a rat and lack of rats thereof. And see, that's it.
And the Goldhands tend to be rivals of the Swiftclaws.
Yes, the Swift Claws. There's the only other thing, and I suppose the idea of vampires possibly, maybe the vampires also influence the rats. We never know.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe those vampires are. What do you call them? Those nature folk you were talking about?
Nature folk.
Druids, sir.
Yes, maybe the vampire happens to be a druid.
It could very possibly be. Maybe not a vampire at all. And after all, the rodents here could pass through the alarms in the house.
Maybe you'll find out more. Maybe if you do your research at your library, you could find out a bit more.
Yes, definitely. There are a few things that we do need to look up. So, I suppose that'll be our next stop.
Hey, actually, would you mind if we headed off to like a tavern or something? I'm kind of getting a bit thirsty.
Oh, are you? Oh, actually, what time is it?
You guys are getting about late evening now.
Late evening. Oh, it is getting pretty late, and we have been walking around quite a ways. We did right across the city. Oh, and we do have to go back. Alright, I think we can end our investigation for the night.
Yeah, righty then. I look at Mr. Jadon. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so
my
much for your
pleasure.
time.
Please do take care of the young master if you find him. I am worried about the poor lad.
Aye, of course. We're here to help people, you know.
And if we find any updates, I'll be sure to let you know.
Very
Oh,
good.
but we should take a stop at the Divine Square if we ever get the chance.
That's true.
It's
And,
on the way
there-
back, and it is open 24/7 after all.
Is
Oh,
the
well,
library also open at these hours?
Pardon, the what? The library? You might be a little more hard pressed for the library. You might be best to go the next morning.
All right then. No rush at the moment. No, we'll do what we can with tonight. Well, I suppose we shall be bidding our farewells, and we wish good luck also to the master of the house.
Indeed. I am sure he will be very grateful to hear your good wishes for the master.
Then, again, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jadon, and we will be on our way. Goodbye!
Goodbye, nice smelling man.
Indeed, it has been an honor to meet you too, Miss Effie.
And Audrey's gonna...
Just here, charming girl, truly charming. as he lets you out.
Also, as soon as we all make our way towards downwards and towards the front door, Effie's gonna like pause and go like,
Oh wait, I almost forgot.
and she's gonna take out the silver bell she managed to nab and ring it.
just like
Oh, no.
appears behind you, goes, yes.
Oh, this summoning spell is wonderful. Here.
And she'll
Oh,
put the bell in his hand.
You
Oh.
rang.
Thank you.
I only borrowed it for a moment. Have a good day.
actually, do we see a gold hand on the way out?
Yeah, I'll say you guys see him as you pass out.
Mr. Goldhand, we'll be heading out now. We found a little bit of some clues, so we're gonna continue to research.
That is good to hear. I'll be waiting anxiously if you find anything out about my nephew.
And do not worry about your missing bell. I returned it.
Wait, what? He just starts searching his pockets. He's like, when did the bloody hell did that happen?
While we were talking in the room, you are not very aware of your surroundings.
It's not like I usually expect some spider lady to come in and take my bell, as he just kind of mutters to himself as he lets you guys leave the room.
I'm just gonna, before he goes, I'm just gonna kind of walk up to him. I'm just gonna pull out from a pocket a seashell. I'm just gonna hand it to him. I'm just gonna say, consider it a souvenir and an apology for my companion's strange manners.
Yeah, fair enough. Then you guys exit the room.
All right.
Those great people are delightful.
They were awful nice, weren't they?
It is unfortunate, though, that some nice people have had this tragic occurrence.
Don't worry, we can just kill the bad people responsible.
You know, let's not just jump straight to kill if we can avoid it. You know, why not subdue first if possible?
Oh, torture, I understand.
No,
No, not torture.
Just subdue. So just stop them from fighting back, so we can bring them to the. In case we have more questions and answers when we find them.
So, hurt them until they're unconscious, but don't kill them.
It's been brief, yes. Or if there's a quicker way to just bring them just in general.
I understand.
Alright, well, as long as we aren't killing on sight, everything should be fine. So, I guess for now, we could pass by the square if we wanted to, since it is on the way back. We do have to walk across the town again.
Yeah, I'd appreciate if we stopped by. If we're going to be fighting something as unholy as vampires, I'd prefer to get the gods to look after us if possible.
In theory.
You know, I prefer to be prepared for any scenario that we might find ourselves in.
That is true. Very
With,
sensitive of you.
with Effrie's background, would she have any idea what vampires might be susceptible to?
You rolled your check on vampires, so no, you don't know anything about them.
All right.
Because you guys rolled your checks for what you do about vampires, and nobody rolled above a 10. Nobody even rolled a 10.
Don't worry about it.
The sunlight thing is what you guys are all aware of.
Alright. Okay. And did you see my private message at some point?
Which one?
The last one I sent you.
Let me double check here. I got nailed with so many.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I saw that. Yeah.
Make a appropriate check, I guess.
Yeah.
Which modifier am I using?
I'm typing it to you right now.
Okay.
Secret. So off to the bar we go.
Got it. Give me 1 second.
Now, dear Effie, I have a question. How old are you, and race tend to live?
I think I'm about 22 years old.
22 years old in, let's say, in a straight timeline, sort of like human.
Yes. Again, it is a guess. I'm not sure how old exactly.
Oh. Is it hard to keep track of time in your area?
Well, that and my family found me.
Oh, so they found you, and then that's what started your age counting then.
Yes.
Well, you look lovely for 22, assuming 22. I wonder... So if you're 22, and... So Darcy is... How old are you again? 23?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm about 23.
23. I don't know how old Miss Miriam is. And it's too bad that I can't ask right now, but, you know, taking a guess. Oh,
Quiet.
she's very quiet, but that's what makes her charm. It seems
Honestly,
I'm the
Miss
oldest
Miriam
one
would
here so
probably be
far.
quiet about the age anyways. You don't ask a lady her age.
What if you're a lady asking another lady? Well, that's interesting. That seems that I'm the oldest one here, so
Wait, how old are you again?
are you?
I am 30. Oh, hold on her again. I'm 32.
Oh, okay.
I've been studying at the university for quite a while, but I basically lived there for a good portion of my life, to be honest. But I enjoyed it very much.
And you said she was human, right?
Yes.
Alright, just double checking.
You don't look a day over 20.
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to keep a little skincare routine. After all, I do tend to do all-nighters, and I know that's best for my eyes, but, you know, when you just get caught up in a book, you just can't stop.
Hey, so you take care of yourself. I recommend, if you want my personal opinion, if you go down to the city of the Fae, I heard that they got this nice like skin cream that apparently smooths out the wrinkles like you wouldn't believe.
That sounds very interesting. Definitely we'll have to check that out at some point. Hopefully we walk across that. Ideally, I would love to travel across the world just like you did.
Oh, well, I can't say I've been everywhere, but I can say I've definitely been to some of the more remote places of the Empire.
Well, you definitely traveled a lot more than I have, I'm pretty sure.
You don't just to let you know, it's not always it's got its perks, I'll give you that. Nights under the stars, you meet all sorts of people, but you know, every once in a while I do kind of miss the days of just staying at home and enjoying the nice sea breeze and all that.
Well, everything has the pros and cons. As much as I loved being surrounded by books and staying at the university and meeting all wonderful and studious people, sometimes it's just nice to take a walk outside and take in the fresh air.
Yeah.
As long as a fireball doesn't explode on me, which is actually what happened earlier. I did not clean myself, I just realized, oh, yeah.
Wait, fireball?
Actually, that's a good note. You should have noticed. Probably what you never noticed. Audrey's had soot on her face this entire time.
You just went like this.
After you figure that's normal.
I just thought it was makeup. Like, go
Well, I
more for
could
a...
possibly start a trend.
Yeah, more of a sort of like goth sort of thing you got going on there.
All I need is a little bit of tint on my lips, isn't it?
As you say fireball, though, Winchester turns and goes, "Oh, you do the fireball stuff then, what? Should probably keep my gunpowder away from you."
Oh, that's right. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you. So, good Sir Winchester, you seem like the aquatic type of creature, and yet you are in this blazing hot desert, which is, honestly, I'm sweating even more. I do need to drink myself as well.
Well, I mean, I'm not, I'm not exactly a sort of aquatic creature myself. I may look like a hippo, but I'm not exactly one. You know what?
Oh, I see.
Besides, you have hippopotamuses in the deserts and occasional at the oases, eh? But what?
Oh, that is very interesting. And where exactly did you hail from, specifically?
Oh, specifically, what? I originally came from, where did he come from again? Ah, yes. Hey, I was raised in the Swan Lagoons to the north, what?
Swan Lagoons to the north.
Of course, my family
how
came
does
from
that
Marcel
culture
Kingdom
differ?
about 3 generations ago, but
Ah. And what made you decide to move down south?
I decided to come down here for the hunting and such, what? Good opportunities for one who goes out and looks for dangers and such.
Aye, and that's why you're probably part of the Hunter's Lodge. I can understand that.
Like the big game, after all, what? He's taps his rifle.
I like you, Mr. Winchester.
I'm just writing in a notebook. Some don't have to be part of the aquatic life. They can also live in areas that are as hot as the desert over here. And she continues to monitor herself like and
Yeah.
bumps into probably like at least 2 pedestrians on the way. Oh, sorry.
As you do bump into some pedestrians, though, you actually end up bumping into a statue. As you find yourselves, funnily, in the Divine Square.
Oh, look at that! We're already here.
Oh.
My goodness, these are quite a lot of statues.
Yeah. Around you, you guys enter what seems to be an open area of worship for all people of all sizes and colors. Amongst them, you see what also can only be described as the statue of the main gods of the Empire. Lined up, for those of you who do not know of this, you see some of the lesser gods of Apollo, Athena, Mars, Hermes, Hephaestus, as well as the 3 king gods of Hades, Zeus, and Poseidon, surrounded by the very close statue of, and I'll just pull it up, the statue of the god Emperor.
Oh.
Oh, can you pull it up again? I accidentally closed it the moment you pulled it up.
So handsome.
Statue of the god Emperor in his divine glory, in a white and black armor, to represent the duality of his nature.
Interesting.
There you see an Eric Hawker presiding over the people as he is talking to people. As white feathered Eric Hawker priest. I'll bring up a picture for you.
Oh, I love him.
Ooh, interesting.
As he says a night, you're getting like night mass as he's talking to the people. Goes, it is with the honor of the God Emperor himself that we strive forward to better ourselves as one. For where else in the world can you have Tabaxi, Lizardmen, Arakakra, Tiefling, Azamar, and all manner of race together live in peace and harmony, as is done by the way of the God Emperor under the divine rulership of the gods that granted him the ability and the divinity, bringing him to godhood himself.
Audrey leans over to Darcy and is like, So I noticed you have pendants and whatnot on your vest. Do these represent any of these statues here?
Hello?
Darcy?
Hello, Mr. President?
Michael, you there?
Hello? Mr. President, I'm dwelling.
Yeah, I got it.
Please help.
Right there, by the way, for you, Michael.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of start sliding over there without drawing any attention to myself.
So, Audrey,
Do
as
you
you start
understand?
talking to Darcy, Darcy kind of like wandered past you without noticing.
Oh dear. All right. I'll ask him later. It's all right. It's not that important.
Sorry, I was... Sorry, I had a rough connection there. I didn't hear when you started talking.
Oh.
When you started addressing me,
Okay.
so I like to imagine I just went like oblivious for a second.
Well, there he goes. Maybe he's enchanted by these beautiful carvings.
Don't
Effie, do you know any?
worry. I'll talk to you.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy your company very much. So.
I feel kind of bad now. Like I legitimately didn't hear you, and now I feel like a jerk.
Okay. Don't worry about it. She gets ignored a lot of times at the university
No,
too.
that makes
so
it
she's
worse.
kinda-
Dude, man, literally, if you didn't catch in the opening, she was literally sent out here partly to get her out of the fucking university because Gold couldn't stand Gold Cloak
You
couldn't stand her.
shut up over there.
Yeah, I know, but still, I feel bad about it now.
Anyways,
You're so
Darcy,
great.
as you walk over towards the statue, you do see a Kenku priest standing there. That
Alright,
fella right
Oh,
Alright.
so fluffy.
alright. I'll just walk over and I'll just very quietly say, "Swift pass and free movement to you."
Kind of looks over at you with a kind of a knowing nod. He goes, "And to you as well, my friend."
May I ask for a favor from your divine host?
A blessing from the god of is always willing from Hermes.
Me and my friends undertake a dangerous task ahead. Could you, by chance, supply us with, and of course, with due payment, could you supply us with things such as holy water and oils?
Of course, my friend. We have such weapons and items in storage.
Thank you. Our mission may lead us to have to fight abominations. Does the church here happen to have any weapons of such, any tools of such trades for us?
Unfortunately, we have no specific weapons, but as you say, if you are speaking of the undead and the fiends, holy water and oil should aid you greatly in this matter.
Then it is that I shall take.
Oh, very good. So, you can buy a vial of holy water for 20 gold. That'll do 2d6 radiant damage to any creature at a 5-foot splash radius. It's 50 gold for holy oil, which will grant 1d8 radiant damage to undead and fiends for 1 hour on a weapon it's applied to.
I'll look over at Mira and I say to them, "I see you carry that sword with you." I guess I go over to the priest and be like, "Hold on a minute, let me talk to my friends here."
Of course.
And I'll just wander back.
Welcome back.
Coming back.
Hey, so I was talking to one of the priests over there, and I was talking about purchasing that holy water and oil. So for the water, we can kind of throw them like lob them like rocks and stuff, but it'll definitely mess up any undead nasties or fiends or other such.
Mhm.
And for those of you who use weapons, and I kind of look at I kind of like skim over Audrey because I have a feeling not a weapon sort of person.
Nope.
But I look at EF and Mira, and I look at them and I say, if you two want to purchase a holy oil, it's usually coats a blade for about an hour, and it is sure to give it a bit of a punch when it comes to facing undeads and other ghoulies of the sort.
It's alright. I have special arrows.
Ooh, special arrows? What kind?
Well, I have a variety with a variety of uses.
Ooh, I can't wait to see them in battle. Well, hopefully to battle, because I'd rather not have anyone hurt. But in the case, at some point, I'd like to see an example. But I shall have to wait.
I would be more than happy to show you.
Oh, thank you.
Darcy, a little scared, looks over to Mira, be like, Mira, you want anything?
Silence.
Just
We
glares
should
at
probably
you.
not address the person not here.
Just
I
hear
know,
like a groan and looks at you.
Alright then. And I guess I'll look over to Winchester. I'm like, Mr. Winchester, sir. Chance wants to try.
I think I'll buy a push that holy oil. I do have a little bit of a sword here. And he pulls out his saber. what?
Ooh,
Very nice.
great Nick. I guess I will lead him back to my friend over there.
Okay, so you guys head back to the priest. Winchester buys a bottle of the holy oil.
I shall also buy a bottle of holy oil.
Okay, so that's 50
Oil.
gold for the holy oil. That is
Oh my
1d8
goodness, this is so expensive.
Well, it does take a lot of effort to divine and enchant such things.
Oh, I'm saying that out of character.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, that would be rude.
Hey man, that's a discount. Usually they're more expensive than that. What? Holy water and holy oil is expensive as hell.
Yeah, I figured as much, but I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go over there, see if I can't be a little charming.
Yeah.
And when Winchester walks away, I say, I thank you for your service.
May the trickster god always be with you. And
Aye.
may his way of always lead to your ways of outwitting your opponents as well as conniving the ways through danger.
Don't worry.
You're
No
breaking
chance
up,
to
Michael.
really. Oh. I say, don't worry. We may not have known each other for too long, but maybe I'm not sure what their skills are, but I'm sure it'll be fine. I appreciate your concern, though, and I do appreciate you doing this for us.
You're quite welcome, my child. May
May
the
you
gods
follow
and the Emperor watch over you.
And may you find three paths and. Yeah, may you find three paths.
Thank you.
And
Got
I
you.
will walk. What'd you say?
Oh, you saying you walk back, I take it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Effie's gonna lean towards Audrey and say,
I did not realize you had to buy water here.
Oh, no, this is not just any water. This is special water. You see, there's some holy people that's over here, and they do this sort of enchanting of the items. And this way, this water has very special effects on very certain creatures.
What kinds of creatures?
Well, there's undead, there's the vampires, there's fiends, there's the
Winchester
undead.
looks at it, that's about it, they'll, say what?
So I was just like, oh!
So then I should be okay.
I believe so. I mean, Arachne aren't within those categories, I'm assuming. Would I know?
I'm considered a monstrosity.
But I think you are beautiful either way.
Effie rests her palms on her cheeks that go a little pink in happiness.
Spider lady, spider lady.
Spider
creepy
There is
spider
my
lady.
Why is this the character concept you had to go with?
We just like to make you suffer.
Can't you spin a thread? There's Darcy hanging upside down. Look out!
Look out, there's Spider Lady.
I bet Darcy would hate to find out she could actually do that to him.
In due time.
Michael's gone silent.
Uh,
I have a question though.
what?
Yeah.
Are you planning on making art of this? Please tell me no. Oh, that's not a no. You evil. I will never commission anything from you again.
Anyways, from there on, I'm actually curious, what is Effie doing around the Aarakocra priest?
Oh no.
This would be the first time you've ever seen an Aarakocra, so...
Would this also be Audra's first time?
You've probably seen Aarakocra. Again, but the country city you're from, you've seen most races.
Okay.
The reason you haven't seen
Effie-
GIF is because they're not magical. They don't like magic. They're not about magic.
Okay.
Effie's gonna approach them and say,
Excuse me.
Yes, my child.
Might I have one of your feathers?
Kind of gives you an odd, kind of like, you know how like the turkey coo look? Kind of looks like that. He goes, very well. And he takes a feather that kind of like plucks out and hands you a feather. May it bless you and keep you safe, my child.
Oh, thank you. You are so very kind.
Effie will tuck the feather in her hair and walk back to the group.
So
How did
since
you
this
get a
game has
souvenir?
begun, Effie has gotten a stuffed griffin, a feather.
She's just rolling in that treasure, and she.
Oh man, I can't.
You guys have a spider lady hoarder.
Oh god. We're gonna just find her web, and it's just gonna be filled with things, and she can't even move around in it.
One day we're gonna find a tavern, and instead of like a giant egg sack, it's just all the things that she's collected over over the adventures.
So in any case, are you guys planning to do anything else here, or?
I think that concludes my business.